Hello, and welcome to the Lost Archives. My name's Owen, and I'm the Dungeon Master for this, our Tyranny of Dragons campaign. Thank you for joining us for episode 39. Crazy times. We're almost at 40 episodes. That is just nuts.
What?
We've been doing this now. We've actually now been doing this for a year. We've actually just about hit our year anniversary as well. So and do you know what? Melbourne's still in lockdown, so nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. I mean, I'm not in Melbourne anymore, so I'm not in lockdown, so it's lovely for me. But yeah, nothing much has changed. Well, actually, a few things have changed. We've got a few new characters since we first started. This is, I think we've travelled a long distance in this campaign. We've now you guys have travelled over the breadth of the land, over Oshi. You've travelled to different places. I think this is now where you start to really get to explore the continent, though, as you are now on board an airship, which really opens up the world for you, which I'm very excited to start having you guys explore. But I should introduce the lovely players who join me each and every Wednesday night. Please introduce yourselves, lovely players.
All right, I think it's me. I'm actually here. Hello, I'm Claire. I'm playing Mira, Dragonborn Sorcerer, half red dragon, half silver dragon. Pretty keen to have my own desk now. Very excited.
Yes.
Very excited. And I'm also found my old notes. This is Claire speaking. I found my notes, so it should be a little more.
Very nice. This will be great fun.
Mm-hmm.
Go on, Jared. Introduce yourself.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm Jared. I'm playing the character of Jin, whose persona currently is Lyra Whisperwind. I'm a level 2 Warlock and 6th level Bard. I'm the one who's sort of the resident spy, does all the sort of subterfuge sort of elements, and I think my protege, Mira, is coming along quite nicely. So, yeah, so we've got an airship now, which is really awesome, and I'm looking forward to some of the air sort of adventures that are about to unfold.
Absolutely.
And I'm Michael. I'm playing Lockie Hobbs, the Warforged Artificer, who is in the robot version of Heaven right now, as he is holed up in the engine room of a flying ship.
Yeah, I think we left you last session just fangirling over the engine itself.
Absolutely.
I think it's great. While the others picked rooms, you just picked the engine.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is literally his room.
Under that.
The engine room is his room.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, exactly right. And our guest character, who's now become a permanent member of the cast.
Woo!
Hello, I'm Ali. I'm playing Lyra, the Moon Druid. And her recent activities have pretty much just been decorating the ship with as many plants that she could get her hands on before takeoff.
Yeah, you will, yeah. Keen-eyed viewers will notice plants occasionally moving around the map a teensy bit. I did give Ali control of them so that she could place them where she wanted. I am now going to take that control away and move them to the map layer so that they can't be fucked about with, because these are not... They're not awakened shrubs. They are just plants that you have placed.
Not yet.
They're not awakened shrubs yet. Yeah, absolutely. Well, we are really sort of entering into a new phase of the campaign, and now that we've got the airship, now that you guys have a mobile base, the teleportation circle's been activated, and you now have a easy passageway straight back to your guild hall. Really now it's going to be less of the needing to prepare for long journeys in terms of what you can carry and what you can bring with you. This sort of opens it up a little bit more and gives you guys a little bit more freedom to focus on the journey itself rather than the provisions for the journey, which I know Mira obviously will still need to take a very tight inventory of what you have with you on the ship, but it gives us a little bit more freedom for exploration, which I'm really keen on as well. So I think I should probably do a quick recap and then we can jump into the adventure. Mira, Jin, Lockie and Lyra are in Palin, capital of the Ocean Empire, and now the location for a council meeting of lords, spies and mercenary groups, as the threat posed by the Order of the Dragon looms larger each passing day. The group know that the Order of the Dragon has been around in various forms for centuries, historically attempting to use necromancy to bring the bodies of dead dragons back to life as Dracoliches. But in the past few years, something has changed. The goal now seems to be the accumulation of vast amounts of gold, silver, and treasure by any means necessary. However, the group have discovered wealth is not the endgame. The purpose of this hoard seems to be some integral part of a ritual required to release Tiamat, one of the evil betrayer gods, from her prison far beyond the astral space. Other requirements or specifications for this ritual remain clouded and unknown to our party, except that there are 5 chromatic dragon masks somehow involved. And there is a suspicion amongst several members of the party that Mira might somehow be needed or required for the activation of said ritual. Having thwarted many of the cult's schemes, the Tempest Guild were the chosen representatives of the League of Adventurers at the historic summit in the Empyrean, the seat of the Ocean Empire. During the council meeting, the party learned that Varum, the current bearer of the White Dragon Mask, has been spotted over towards the northwest, away from the hustle and bustle. Oh, sorry, no, not the northwest, sorry, my apologies, towards the northeast. Not on the continent of Oceania. There had been reports from some of the Harpers, a spy organisation that Jin is a member of, that had spotted Varum, one of the leaders of the cult, somewhere over towards the northeast, just past the Shattered Isles. As the council meeting came to a close, a large, long horn sound echoed across the city, silencing all other noise, causing distress and chaos amongst the animal populations and trees as well. I think Lyra was able to identify that trees were distressed by this noise as well. No one thought to ask the trees except for Lyra, so point there. But yeah, this sounding of the horn was revealed to be an ancient magical item, artifact known as the Draghorn, which essentially was the call to war for the chromatic dragons in the original conflict, way back in the past of Nostea, the conflict that pitted dragons against each other and pitted the world, is now known as the Ruin. So, a bit of a fun time, nothing much to worry about. But yeah, the ancient horn, which is thought to be lost, the Draghorn, sounded once again. The party arrived at the airship docks to discover that Leosin Elranthar, the twin brother of Azur, one of the other party members, had purchased an airship in their name. Almost purchased an airship, after quickly settling the last of his debts and deciding on their course of action and splitting up some gold. The party now are faced with an open sky. Any road, any direction they want to head in is theirs. The airship is theirs. It has been completely fueled. They've had a little bit of time to do some shopping. Illyrian has picked up a few little trinkets and odds and ends. The rest of them, I think Lyra picked up some new armor as well, so they're kitted out. They've got their best gear on. They've picked their rooms. The only thing that awaits is the open sky as we set out on some airship adventures. Now, quickly with Jin Illyrian. So Jin, when you went to go purchase your scrolls of absorb elements, obviously identifying that perhaps as you're exposed to draconic breath as the campaign goes on, potentially you might want to get some protection from the elements. I think you also had a bit of a run-in with fire in one of the earlier episodes as well, so in your interests to make sure you're protected from that. As you head across to one of the shops that sort of purports to be selling magical items and artifacts, the older gentleman inside, very long white beard, classic sort of wizard-looking man, greets you, and as you ask him for the scrolls, no, scrolls are useless. Do you have time to pull out a scroll and read it while you're being set on fire? Don't be stupid, my young man. Scrolls are good for learning spells, not for activating spells.
Oh, well, admittedly, I didn't... Is there an alternative?
Oh, yes, of course. The latest thing, this artificing, we can obviously create gemstones that will hold the spell for you and activate it when you need it most. Here, pulls open a drawer and you can see a bunch of quartz crystals with copper wires, small holes drilled through the crystals and copper wires leaning through, which seem to form a little network or a lattice that basically is attached to a brooch. If you pin this to your clothing, it will activate when you take a bit of elemental damage. The quartz will redirect and dissipate the energy, thus protecting you from harm. And if you are to touch your hand or your weapon or something to the quartz crystal, you can actually take some of the energy that's dissipated and use it again.
Oh, well, that is definitely a quite interesting little thing. I've never seen it before. Well, technology, hey?
technomancy. He gives you like an eyebrow raise as he says that. Yeah, just like I did then for viewers.
Not really my area of expertise.
How many would you like?
I would like 5.
5, 70 gold pieces each, my good man.
Perfect. Well, that sounds like a great deal indeed.
He hands you over a box that has the 5 quartz crystals with the copper lattice network forming a brooch inside.
Yep.
Opens the box and presents it to you. You take your absorb elements. You can add. Essentially, it's just you've got 5 uses of absorb elements. That's literally what they are.
Yep.
And it's a reaction. So it's just the spell absorb elements with some flavor, spicy.
Well, it makes more sense.
yeah,
Like, literally,
exactly
you have to get hit by this like dragon breath. You're like, hey, wait, dragon.
Oh, I just got to pull out this piece of paper. Let me pull this papyrus wrap out and unroll it, and I'll just speak this spell. Yeah. No, I think so. Reaction spells.
My scroll is on fire.
Yeah. Oh, it's it's acid breath I've been hit with. Oh, the scroll's melted, as of my fingers. Yeah. So the way I deal with reaction spells is it's all artificer stuff. So just because. It doesn't make any sense to have it as a spell scroll. Unless you're learning the spell as a wizard, in which case it makes perfect sense to have it as a scroll.
Yeah.
If you guys want to purchase any spells that have reaction as their casting time, it'll be something clever like that, something little artificery. Fantastic. So yeah, you have those, you head back to the ship. My question is, are you sharing those with anybody, or are they just for Jin? I mean, Mira's half red, half silver. That's already 2 elements done. Lyra hugs trees. Lockie's made of metal.
Probably from my own personal stash of gold.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I will say to everybody, as I'm walking into, I will mention, it's a quick little thing for everybody. These little things here, it's for the spell absorb elements. Going against some dragons, they could definitely be a bit of a lifesaver. So, by all means, if you have any extra cash or gold, it'd probably be a good idea to buy some. But it is all your call.
If you guys wanted to have purchased any 70 gold pieces each, just cross off as many as you want. Jin's already negotiated a discount that applies to everybody, so you're all covered. We did.
Yeah, that's why I didn't push. That's why I didn't push for a discount.
Well, you would have been hit back hardcore because we'd already done that off stream. And if you'd been a little cheeky fuck and tried to secure a bigger discount, yeah, not worth it.
I think Lyra.
That's why.
Pick one or up. Yeah, pick 1 or 2 up. Absolutely, just 70 gold pieces. Tick it off.
Yeah,
That's
same.
a good idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
If there's any other spell scrolls or things like that you want to pick up that are first level, just chuck it in the chat and I'll let you know what they cost. But first level spell scrolls are between 60 to 90 gold pieces, depending on what they are. And then cantrips and things like that. If you probably wouldn't want to pick up a scroll of cantrip or anything like that, but they're only 40 gold pieces for a single-use cantrip scroll. Depending on what it is. Spare the Dying's a little bit cheaper. Priests discount that.
I do have 3 other scrolls that were from way back when. I have a Dimension Door scroll, a Fireball scroll, and a Featherfall scroll. But the
Featherfall scroll is a silver token shaped like a feather.
Yep. Yeah, I figured.
That glistens with magic, and occasionally actual real feathers fall from it if you have it out in the air. Yeah.
Cool.
Very occasionally.
What I've done is I've made a ton of like custom actions as well, with the exact like parameters of all the scrolls, so they're actually in my actions and reactions.
Yeah.
Because I think if they were just in my inventory, I'd just forget.
You'd forget. Yeah, exactly right. I always do that when I'm. Well, I mean, I was going to say when I'm a player, but when does that happen anymore? No.
Well, we might have to do a one shot then one day, Owen, so you can play.
Oh yeah, I've got a good one that I'd love to be a player in, but I know the
That's
thing
what
too
I
well
said,
now because
as a
I've read
player.
it, so now I can't do it. Yeah, no, I can't.
Or maybe
I can't because
you can't do that
for
one.
something
Maybe
else.
maybe I'll come up with a one shot, or someone else.
Absolutely.
They want to do a one shot.
As you guys are sort of getting ready and getting your stuff all organized, a knock comes at each of your doors as Leosin moves down the rooms and sort of knocks and checks in and goes, "Hey, I've got some people who might be interested in joining our crew. We were looking for some crew. I've actually gathered 3 people who could be useful. We've got the funds in the guild to cover 2 of them, depending on their role. So I was going to bring them down to the lower deck. Do you want to come join me in this section down here? We can just take some seats and they can come present their resumes to us. Mira, I'm assuming you'll want some paperwork of some sort for them.
Oh, Mira's already got it already prepared. That's what she's been doing with her new desk.
Wow, by Bahamut you have been busy. Good lord.
Oh,
Sorry, your ink is completely... You've run out of ink. I really underestimated how much you would need. This was 6 months supply, Mira. You've used it up in 6 minutes?
Well,
How you write like a running out of time.
Oh fuck, that's really good. Who was that? Michael and Claire both singing that?
Yeah.
Was it both of you?
Yeah.
You both get inspiration.
Yeah.
Why do you write like you're running out of time? No. I'm gonna go get some more ink and then I'll bring these people down. Goodness me. Mira, you have a problem.
Mira just
Look at this. You've filled both desks. Look, he pulls the covers back. Look, it's just paper under here. You can see under the covers. It's just huge rolls of paper. Mira, look, you don't need to hide your habit from us. It's okay. You'll be all right. We can deal with this together. None of that happens. No, I'm kidding. He just goes to the crate, opens it up, and you see there's like 16 vials of ink there. That's there's also, you'll notice here I've got some squid ink the side. If you need to code any magic scrolls or do anything magical, I got some squid ink too. But please don't use that for just ordinary work. That cost me 16 gold pieces.
Oh no, I'll save that definitely.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can write spell scrolls though. I don't think sorcerers can do that. No.
No. Well, unless you take. Well, we'll get to that later.
It does not have the intelligence.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes. Right. Well, I'll bring them down if you want to come meet me in the main foyer to see the kitchens, and we can suss these people out and learn a bit about them, and maybe bring them on board. I better get Lockie too. he heads down to the engine. Lockie. Lockie. Come up to the main deck. We're picking new crew members to come work for us. Did you want to say in that, or are you happy down here?
Oh no, I'll come and. Yes, sure. Sounds
fantastic.
Yes.
I'll just back through this way.
Okay, just one moment. He like finishes fiddling with whatever he's fiddling with, drops like a couple of tools and things, and starts putting things away. I'll be right. Yep, coming.
You just hear a clang of like just
As you leave the room, Lockie, you hear a tick, 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 tick. No, I'm kidding. Leosin sort of heads up the stairs. Oh dear, that doesn't sound very good at all. Leosin disappears up the stairs and then returns back down again. I'll chuck you with the others, Lyra. There you go. And returns back down. Behind him is a large 6'2" woman with long black hair and bright red skin and slightly small tusks.
Wait, how
Leosin, 6'2".
Oh.
Yeah. Leosin leads her down towards the group and goes, "Everyone, this is Grisha. Grisha is here for the job of crew member. Grisha, this is the Tempest Guild, plus some people who are contracted for the Tempest Guild. I'm not quite sure I understand how you fit into this, Illyrian, but
associate
of the Tempest Guild, yes. And they have some questions for you. I'm going to head back upstairs to talk to the other candidates, but please make yourself comfortable, and they can talk with you." Leosin heads upstairs and disappears from view. The red school woman comes and takes a seat right at the table. Like, no pauses at all, just moves and sits down and goes, "Right, hello. I am Grisha. I hear you need crew. None stronger than Grisha." Starts flexing her muscles a little bit underneath the quite skimpy outfit. Sort of gives you an eye. Illyrian gives you a bit of a wink and a bit of an eyebrow raise as she looks at you.
At me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's talk about her options here. Lockie is a Warforged, and therefore he's going to need some special attachments, which she can't see on him right now. Illyrian, you've described yourself as quite a handsome man, just at the back. She hasn't quite noticed Lyra yet. She's sort of, as she walks in, like, you're standing right there, so you're the one she notices. So she sits down, she sees Lyra and goes, "Oh, hello, beautiful."
Oh god.
Oh, hello.
Whoa.
Mira clears her throat at this point. So, Grisha, I have several questions. These will take 8 minutes each. You may answer in 500 words or less, and I will be recording this down. Is that okay?
I did not listen to the last thing you said, but sure, probably fine.
What makes you qualified for this job?
I'm very strong, and I have worked on airship before.
Oh.
It crashed, though.
Question.
It did crash, though. Yeah?
To DM though.
Oh, yes, hello.
How many crew? Like, how
3.
many roles are we looking at?
You're looking to fill 2 roles. Leosin has found 3 people who he thinks might be suitable.
Okay, and these are just crew hands.
Exactly right. Possibly
Right.
take on the role of cook if none of you guys want to take it on. Role of navigator if none of you guys want to take it on. Just general roles that are required for the ship to function. Lockie's taken on engineer. You did need an engineer, but Lockie's taken that role on. Bam, straight away. That was easy as. Cook would be a good one. Doctor could be useful. Navigator definitely needs to be done. Someone will need to be a navigator if you guys don't hire someone. One of you guys will need to do it. That needs to be filled.
Right.
That's not going to be
And
me.
Cook kinda does too a little bit.
I'm actually proficient with cook's utensils. Actually.
Boom! But there's your cook done.
Yeah. It makes sense. Mira does
Yeah.
gastronomic cooking. You know, like
Well,
Heston Blumenthal.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
you're like Heston Blumenthal.
Does-
Very nice.
Does anyone have? Wait, for the navigator thing, do you need like calligrapher's tools or something?
If you've got proficiency in navigator's tools, or calligrapher's tools, or if you are a ranger, you're automatically proficient.
Okay, I don't have any of those.
Yeah. I have calligraphers, but it's from my guild role, so I don't feel like it's transferable.
If we need
Yeah,
tools,
that's
I
transferable.
can make any
Oh yeah, you
tools.
can make them.
It's the proficiency we're looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so probably a navigator's one that you do need to fill.
Yeah.
And then just a deckhand can come in handy too if you guys need cargo carried, if you need... Because the other thing to keep in mind is that when you guys get off the ship, the crew at the moment is just Leosin, and he cannot fly this airship by himself.
No.
So
So-
if you guys need to be picked up or something, like, you're fucked. That's it.
So could we have like 2 or 3 specialized members and then just fill
Exactly.
out the rest of the crew with like 5 to 10 like just like schmucks?
Well, I mean, you can definitely hire more people. If you the minimum you need to fly is 3 people, so Leosin plus 2 more. So if you just fill 2 more roles, that'll be fine. And if one of them's the navigator and one of them is just an untrained and learns from Lockie, probably backup engineer would be really helpful, then you're sorted.
Okay. Because it's
But do you wanna-
the
yeah.
cook can be done by Mira.
Yeah, Mira can cover the
Engineer
cook.
can be done by Lockie. We'd have to hire
Exactly.
a navigator.
Definitely a navigator.
Would a decent survival skill help with navigator?
Survival skill's not bad. It's more the intelligence.
Okay.
Sorry, no. For navigator, it's I'd say survival. Yeah, decent survival skill covers for navigator. Yeah, definitely. I'd say probably wisdom is another one that's really useful for.
Oh, okay.
for-
Lyra might be able to do that then. She's got really
There you
low intelligence, but really high wisdom.
Yeah, I'd say wisdom can help with navigation.
Probably. I think you were wanting to be the medic though. From what I
Yeah,
remember.
I mean, she could do both, couldn't she?
Oh, tough job doing both.
What we
Ah,
could
okay.
say
Can.
is we could fill navigator and we have the cook, medic, and engineer done. So then we can just hire a navigator and 1 extra. Does that fill all everything?
Let's
And
just
actually,
go
I've
over-
had a-
you responded to
I've
the
had a
ad.
good idea too. What I'm going to do is we're going to do a group interview. So Leosin will actually bring down the 3 applicants together,
That'd be
and
quicker.
you guys can and you guys can ask questions of them as you want, and I'll put their names up on the thing as well. So there is Grisha, who is a hobgoblin female woman who looks to be very strong. There is Arvel, who is a Leosin, who is dressed in sort of very fine black suit and wears a monocle. And then there is Corvin, who is a Kenku, who has a series of scrolls and a sextant on his person.
No, I wasn't laughing at that. I was laughing at the sextant because that's what we need.
That is what we need.
I random rolled these NPCs, and he was proficient in Navigator's tools. So I was like, boom, there you go.
Oh, there you
Okay,
go.
you guys got lucky. Yeah, I random rolled these NPCs last time, just in case we got to them. Leosin, yeah, presents these characters. Yes, here are the three applicants. This is, I think you said your name was Corvin? My name is Corvin, says the Raven, says the Kenku. And this is Arvel?
Yes, it is a pleasure to be aboard this fine vessel. Greetings.
And then Grisha. Hello, you know my name. You speak to me just before, yeah?
Well, we know what Grisha brings to the table, but Arvel and Corvin, what do you both bring?
Corvin steps forward. Very skilled in navigation and finding lost souls.
Do you say lost souls?
Aye, it's just a turn of phrase. Nothing to be concerned about.
Nice.
Definitely going to insight check that though, quick.
Yeah, go on.
Nah, it's not very high.
10.
I feel like it's difficult to insight. Thank you.
So straight up, you know that Kenku. So Kenku's for those of you who are listening to the podcast. So hobgoblins are tall, red-skinned humanoids who have small tusks. Look a little bit orcish in a way. Leosin are like lion people, bipedal lion folk. This one, Arvel, has his mane has actually been cut a little bit short and braided behind his head to make almost like dreadlocks in a way. Kenku are small raven-like people, humanoid ravens. They don't have wings like Arakokra. He's a little bit taller than a halfling, a little bit shorter than a human. Looks like a bipedal raven. And Kenku, there's a long lost. There's a bit of a myth around Kenku. So Kenku can only mimic what they've heard before. They can mimic any noise, any sound, any speech, but they have to have heard it before. They cannot produce noises of their own. They have no voices. There is a myth or a legend or possibly an origin story of why this is amongst the mythology of Nostea, that because the Kenku were acting as spies for the betrayer gods during the ruin, and then they actually betrayed the betrayer gods and started working for the side of the prime deities. One of the betrayer gods actually cursed them and took away their voices as punishment for turning on their masters. Whether that's true or not, no one knows, but Kenku are treated with, because of their role and their the integral information they provided, it actually kind of turns the tide of battle a bit. So Kenku are treated with a pretty decent amount of respect in Nostea. They risked a lot during the ruin to bring information to the other side, and they were actually quite integral. The information they provided is quite integral in the defeat of the betrayer gods. So Kenku are treated with a little bit of respect. They're not like in classic D&D. They're not actually reviled and hated and treated as thieves. They're actually treated with a bit of respect on Nostea. They're seen as they took a hit for the team. Essentially, they provided a great sacrifice, which allowed the prime deities to win and good, or the side of good in quotation marks, to prevail.
Cool.
Just to turn the whole Kenku mythology on its head for fun.
Yeah.
Cool.
I like that.
I did it with Warforged, making Warforged functionally immortal, so I figure why not do it with Kenku too?
Yeah, I like that.
So when you say you find lost souls, do you, as in, search out souls that are displaced from their meat suits, or do you actually find, like, wayward people?
Oh, how would he respond to that? Wayward people. Meat suits intact.
Seems.
When I'm lucky.
Of course. They're very fragile things.
The wilds can be a dangerous place. It's nice to have a friend, though. Someone to look out for you.
I love them so much.
I haven't played a Kenku in a while. It's quite fun. I forgot how much I enjoyed it.
Mm.
I better open up a quick page on my OneNote so that I can keep track of what you guys say so he can learn some new phrases.
Well, you got all the accents.
Meat suits is good. I'm remembering meat suits.
Yeah.
Meat suits. Meat suits. He sort of tastes the word a bit. As you can see him like tasting the word and like quite enjoying this new word that he's got in his lexicon. Meat suits. Meat suits. Sort of nods and chirps a little bit, so a little bit happily.
And you, my dignified fellow, I look at the Leonin.
Arvel, Pridesbane at your service. I was an emissary for the states towards the south, but that time has passed, and I now do odd jobs and work where I can. Travel is my real passion, but I am somewhat handy with picking up new skills, shall we say. I did do a little bit of work for a artificer not too long ago.
So he's done
Well-
done artificer work before. Is that what you said earlier?
I worked for an artificer for a little bit of time. I did a little bit of help and assisted work, but the man in question decided that he didn't want to pay me. He liked the idea of having unpaid interns. I am well beyond the stage of being an unpaid intern. I know the value of my work.
What areas did he get you to work in? Glyphing?
Predominantly...
Crafting?
Oh, apologies, what was that, sorry?
I was asking glyphing, crafting, like spell work? What were we doing?
Spell work, predominantly, and the utilization of magic in certain forms, trapping it in crystals, applying it to wires, the conduction of spells and magic.
Oh, I see.
My particular skill was in having spells go from one place to another down a line. Transference of magical energy, or technomancy.
Arcanic transference, yes.
Exactly.
No.
Somewhat current work, you might say. And he cracks a little smile. You see this long canine tooth. Oh, well, canine tooth? Feline tooth, I guess.
Feline
tooth. Yeah. Quite proud of his joke. Corvin goes, canine work. No, sorry, canine work, so current work.
Oh, that's right.
Very good. Very good.
It's only him and Lockie laughing.
Yeah, as no one else gets it.
What was Lockie's laugh?
Is that your laugh, Lockie? Can I hear that again? Corvin goes, One, two,
Like more code. Okay.
This is going to be very interesting.
Yes. What were the circumstances of you leaving your first job, Arvel?
I can't abide lying. Not a great fit for an emissary.
Yes.
And my brother was far more suited to the role than I.
See.
I stepped down.
I see.
You might not know this of Leosin culture, but your position in the family, the order in which you were born, helps determine your role in society. Firstborn sons are to be warriors, secondborn sons to be emissaries or diplomats or politicians, thirdborn sons to be travelers or craftsmen or some such work. My younger brother was far more suited for the politics, and I far more suited for the craft, so we did something that's not quite smiled upon in my culture. We changed our roles, despite our family's protestations.
Very brave.
Thank you.
And wait, I remember someone said something about crashing an airship.
Oh yes, that was me. Last year's ship I work on, it did crash. It's
That
true.
is not a great recommendation.
Well, I survive. Maybe I survive this crash too.
Why did the previous ship crash?
Something wrong with the engine.
Was it sabotage?
I don't know. Are you asking me if I sabotaged it?
No. I don't know a lot about airships. I'm just really nervous about them.
She gives you a broad smile. I didn't do it.
Insight check.
Make an insight check. Go on then. Go on, make an insight check. Nah, she didn't do it. She's. You get the feeling she's teasing you.
And what did you predominantly get up to? What were your duties on the airship?
Heavy lifting and transport of cargo. For the most part. I also helped wrangle the sails as well.
Your ship had no sails, though, I notice. How are your propulsion?
I think everyone just looks at Lockie then.
Leosin turns and looks at Lockie.
Because well, at this point, it seems to be a Z52 engine with a slight modification attached to 4 giant propellers on the side of the ship, held up by what's it held up by? Is it just,
There's a ring of electrum wires all around the underside of the ship that, when pumped full of magical energy, basically allow for lift. And then the engine's just classic, as you said, Z52 engines, just for propulsion.
Yep. They arcane ring on the bottom for.
Yeah,
left.
arcane ring, electrum ring. It's you can use either of those terms. Very, very, very commonly used for lift in airships. Basically, what it does is it essentially nullifies weight, so it removes the connection of anything attached to it from gravity. It essentially just nullifies gravity of anything that's connected to it.
Cool. Yes.
Oh, there you go. Big propeller. Do I have to lift them? You want me to turn propeller? Big handle I just turn for movement?
No, there's not so much of that required.
I'll sort of pipe up again in the back. And what are your combat prowess? All 3 of you.
Oh, very handy with sword or axe. And she taps the back of her shoulder. You can see there is a great axe strapped to her back. Very handy with axe. Have to deal with sky pirates every so often, and occasionally sky eels. They taste good when roasted.
Sky eels.
Sky eels.
Has
Arvel sort
Mira
of
heard of
shakes
sky
his...
eels?
What was that, sorry?
Has Mira heard of sky eels?
Oh yeah. Sky eels are they live amongst the clouds. They deliver an electric shock. They channel lightning energy through their bodies. They deliver an electric shock. They're roughly sort of 6 to 8 meters long.
Okay.
And they live in small groups of between 3 to 8. Very common. They live in storm clouds. And they go for they'll go for star whales, they'll go for ships, they'll go for rock dragons. They're pretty undiscerning in what they'll have a bite at. Yeah. I'm sure you guys won't meet them though.
Right.
Of course.
So comforting.
Right.
Arvel shakes his head. I'm not particularly gifted in fighting. It's not my strong suit. Not an area. I'm not the firstborn son. Not my role. Not something I was trained for. Not something I particularly relish. Corvin sort of like bristles and goes, "I am a glorious warrior."
We'll just leave that one, Owen.
Chuckles a bit and then opens up a vest to reveal 2 small silver daggers inside. Pulls one out, does a little bit of a flip, flicks it up and catches it, and then tucks it away again. Handy enough, this little bird.
Well, do you have any other questions, Mira? We have some strong candidates here, it seems.
We do. Are any of you insured?
What is insured? Arvel nods and goes, yes, as per standard form 36B1, of course. Corvin laughs and goes...
Like,
Corvin sort of like chuckles a bit, like does Lockie's laugh. Ha, ha, ha. This bird has nothing to fear. Danger's my middle name, baby.
Mira scribbles furiously. I think that will be all.
Corvin Danger Kenku. Danger bird. Yep,
Did you have anything that you wanted to ask, Lyra?
Not really. Look, I don't really know the first thing about sky ships to begin with. I feel a bit bad being part of the people to pick what's best for the ship when I know nothing about it.
Yes, you have a certain wisdom that we lack.
That's putting it lightly. I don't think these guys have wisdom scores in double digits. I think it's just you, Lyra.
Yeah.
She's pretty happy with all of them. Like, she's like, they're just trusting. She's like, you know, he seems like nice people.
Well, tell you what. Do you want to roll me something, Lyra, to see what your read on each of these people is? Do you want to roll me an insight check, and we'll do an insight check on the three of them, just to see what because you've had an opportunity to sit back and observe while the others have been talking and thinking. You've just been watching. So I'd say that you can have an insight or an investigation or a perception check, your choice, and we'll give you some information about all three of them that you've had a chance. You have advantage for this because you had basically the entire time. Oh yeah, sorry, no. You had the entire time these guys were talking to roll to pay attention and look at these people and sort of figure out a little bit about them. We'll see what you learn about each of them.
Yep. I don't know if the first one is insight, but that was before you said perception. Can I?
Did you want to switch to perception?
Yes,
I'll
please.
allow it. I'll allow it because you had rolled it before I said.
Yeah. Second one is perception. Yeah, that's much better.
25. That's a bit better. 25. Yeah, Grisha is a tall, strong woman. You get the feeling that she has been she's been part of a crew before. She's playing around a little bit, but you do get the sense that she knows the hierarchy. She's going to be good at following orders. Sort of watching the way she interacts and the way she talks. Yeah, you think there's a bit of a flirtatious, cheeky side to her, but for the most part, you think she'd do what she was told. She definitely looks like she'd be handy in a fight if you guys got into any trouble. You suspect that she looks quite strong. She looks like she'd be quite good in any sort of combat or heavy lifting or things like that. Arvel looks very soft-spoken. He is very soft-spoken when he's been talking. Very much in contrast to his tall lion-like frame. He's very quiet, very thoughtful. You get the sense that he has been sort of looking around a little bit, paying attention to the ship itself. He seems to have been paying attention to you guys. Just as you're sort of getting an eye on him while Grish is answering some questions, you notice Arvel sort of looking you up and down and making some assessments of you guys as a crew as well. And you get the feeling that he's sort of learning a little bit, trying to sort of understand you guys and learning a bit about you as well. Corvin's a little bit harder to read, but you do get the sense that Corvin is, again, very much limited by what he or she has heard. I would say at this point that you actually don't know whether Corvin is male or female. It's very hard to tell with Kenku. Although you do get a 25. There is a slight hint of a bust. You do get the sense Corvin is female. But yeah, very limited by what she has heard and what she can repeat. But very inquisitive, seems to have a bit of a sense of humour. And yeah, I mean, as you sort of look closely, you can see those rolled scrolls in Corvin's side patch. They look to be navigational charts and maps of the wilds surrounding Palin, and you can actually see that one of the ones that's slightly open looks to be an area marked Xeranthanum Fields, which is down towards the south. You get the sense that Corvin does look like she has a little bit of experience with maps. She looks, as you look at her, you get the sense that she could be some sort of ranger or woodsman or wildsman, people who go out and try and help people in need, spend a lot of time in nature. I would say you get the sense that Corvin is a little bit, like the clothing is very much to blend in with the natural wilds, something that speaks to you. Yeah, I'd say you got to sort of get a bit of a sense of the wilds about Corvin. Not really spending much time in civilization, spending time out in the wilds, and maybe the jokes and the things, maybe even a little bit of nervousness around people.
All right.
Whereas Arvel is a very confident speaker. He, even though he's quiet and soft-spoken, very confident and very deliberate in everything he says.
All right. I think Larry just leans back in her chair and just sort of like casually eyes them all off, like not in like an aggressive way, just sort of in like a, all right, I'm looking at you all.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, if there's no further questions, I'll take the candidates back upstairs. Obviously, you want to make a decision and have a bit of a chat amongst yourselves. Grisha, Arvel, Corvin, if you could come with me, I'll bring you back upstairs, and the party will make their decision.
Perfect.
He takes them upstairs.
As soon as they're gone, Lyra just says, Grisha and Corvin, they're my favorites. What do you guys think?
Arvel seemed very qualified.
He did, but did he almost seem too qualified? Like, I'm just thinking, the best way for the dragon cult to kind of get one up on us would be getting a member of crew, one of our member of crew. Gracia seems like a bit of a strong person that was more interested in the work than the double crossing of us. And Corvin seemed like a bit of a nature explorer, which, I don't know, I didn't get dragon culty vibes, but...
You got dragon culty vibes from Arvel?
I got smart vibes. Really smart vibes.
We don't want smart people on this ship.
Come on. What more do we need?
We don't take the best, we take the rest. Tempest Adventuring Guild. If you've got an IQ in double digits, get the fuck off our boat.
Well, that's
Dungeon Master's not interfering. Keep my mouth shut, sorry.
that's disappointing. Did you really read that, Lyra? That's oh.
Well, I mean, I didn't read Dragon Culty, but smart means to me a higher chance of, I don't know, being double-crossed, or like, wouldn't you have to be really smart in order to be a spy?
Mira looks
puffs up a bit.
crestfallen.
Oh no, it looks crestfallen.
That's smart.
Do you know what the problem is? Mira's in the middle of the knowledge to confidence ratio, where like she's smart enough to know what she doesn't know, and so the confidence is like 0. Whereas like when you're really stupid and you don't know, your confidence is like at 100% because you just don't know. You just assume you know everything.
Yeah, good old what's that phenomenon?
I can't remember what it's called.
Dunning-Kruger effect.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So true though.
Not at that stage anymore. Oh well, you're right. I just want trustworthy people on this ship. We don't want another repeat of Emmerich. So,
well known for his smarts.
Do any of you guys have any sort of truth powers or potions or spells or anything?
That's not for us.
Lyra, are you sure you're allowed on the ship?
She says in a very wise way, with no hint of intelligence at all.
Okay. That's do you know what? That is a wise thing. If anyone's got any ability to tell truth, or I think it's a zone of truth, now'd be the time to cast it.
Yeah. The wisdom we're actually lacking in our party, right? Intelligence, isn't it? Yeah. Oh well. Yeah. Well, I definitely liked the Kenku. He seemed very qualified.
Yeah, we need a navigator.
Mm-hmm.
And he can also fight as well.
Yes.
Or at the very least not die.
We might ask him a bit more about the souls thing, but that's okay.
Well, I think overall...
I like how you're suspicious of the Leonin, but the dude who collects souls now is fine. He's probably fine. He seemed too smart. Oh, you collect souls? Welcome aboard, Captain. Dungeon Master's not interfering.
Well, I think overall, though, I think it's a barbarian, I'm not really sure. But that could be very handy in a pinch. Not to mention help with the general sort of moving around cargo on the ship. The Corvin as well. Navigator. Rogue, maybe? I'm not sure. But they can both sort of look after themselves in a fight. And they sort of fill pivotal roles on the ship. Arvel, the Artificer. Well, we already have an extinguished Artificer right in front of us. As I sort of acknowledge Lockie. I feel like Arvel's position might already be filled.
The position's been filled, yes.
Well, we already have an Artificer. We don't necessarily need another one.
Yes,
Mira.
and his type of artificing was more to do with the moving of spells from the arcanic weave to the material world, so it's not really an engineer.
I would just quickly say as
I would
well.
say Lockie, you would also know that if you wanted to mount like spell cannons to the front of this ship and activate those, that's not an area that you're particularly proficient in. Yours is more the engineering side of things, so that might come in handy for upgrading the ship to have like spell cannons and things like that.
I will say,
Lockie would know that.
I got a background report. Oh, what was that, Lockie?
I was just saying, well, his area of expertise would allow us to place large cannons on the front of the ship, which could, instead of using ammunition, use a spell.
Well, I'm not really sure, but we do have a I do have a brief for my mission. You guys have a arcane master or something back at your guild, and a blacksmith or another artificer. I think I'm reading that right.
An enchanter, yes.
So we might be good in that regard as well. I'm not sure.
That's true, yes.
Well, if you have an enchanter, I can create the implement, and then he can put the spell into it. So the two of us working together could actually...
Oh, Lucky, you need to meet Professor Crucible. Yes, definitely. Yes, I agree. I just want to give him a chance, you know? He's gone out of his old life and started off this new, and he's trying new things. But
you can hire all of them if you want. You'll just have to pay a little bit of extra gold when we get to the end of the month with your guild dues.
But you're right, he does seem a bit susceptible to being hurt.
And I'm not really a big fan of the fact that he can't actually handle himself in a combat.
Yes, where we're going, that will be necessary.
Although he does come with insurance, so if he
does
dies,
have insurance. Oh,
then we get it back.
you're right.
Well, actually, when I think about it, if we bring him on, would he be able to repair the things in the engine room, and we could have Lockie actually helping us up top?
Possible. It's possible. I could give him some training and make sure he's up to scratch.
Because I think in a fight, we'd prefer you on deck.
Oh, why, thank you, my friend. I would prefer to be up here.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. I hadn't actually considered that.
So, do we go with all three then?
Possibly a great idea, actually. Because he could help us, like I said, with spell cannons, as well as when in the fight, if we're in a fight, he can stay under and handle the... Yes. And then...
And he has insurance.
If he turns out to be evil, we can drop him off the ship and then claim his insurance.
I didn't
And
really...
he's shit at combat, so he can't fight us off.
I didn't necessarily get that he's evil. Do you think he's just susceptible to it because he's smart?
I mean, all intelligence is in some form selfish and in some form evil. Yeah, sure.
I was looking at Lyra, though, when I said this.
I think... is it bad to say that at least in my time, when someone was putting together a crew for at least a watership, they didn't want crew that was, let's say, the kind that would try and outthink everything else rather than follow the orders of the captain when, say, time might be a critical thing. You know?
He does seem very proud.
Yeah, like, is he...
But he also might have the smarts to think on the fly, think on the spot, and maybe, he could sort of take the initiative, where someone else like Gresha might not take the initiative. So
I feel like if
there's sort of pros and cons here.
She'll take the initiative and just charge them.
Yes, for that I'm sure. But anything else related to the welfare of the ship, I think she might wait on orders more than just initiative. So there's pros and cons to it all.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, I'm happy with all three. I mean, if what he does is right and he's not good at combat, like I said, if he does turn out to not be in our favor, like, it wouldn't be hard just to pop him in the brig or whatever. We have a brig, right?
I will point out you do not have a brig.
God damn it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just want to point that out.
A quick question as well. Is anyone having like really bad lag on Roll20?
Oh. No.
Oh, no.
It's just moving around my icon, my token is like really laggy.
No.
No. Instantaneous for me.
I don't know what's going on. The music's fine. I've refreshed it a couple times and I keep doing it. But my internet everywhere else is completely fine.
It might be the
My
map.
Discord is...
What was that? Sorry, Claire?
Oh, it might be the map because it's quite large, maybe.
It is a bit of a... Well, if your computer doesn't like this map, the next map I'm about to bring you guys onto is just going to set yours on fire.
I don't think it is. I don't think it's the computer. Because my computer would still be stronger than some of the laptops, probably. I think, because I've done large maps before with no issue. This is the first time it's ever happened. I think it might be more of a Neckwit thing, maybe.
Yeah. Are you Chrome, Firefox, Edge?
I'm Chrome.
Edge.
Okay.
Come on, Edge. What are you talking?
You're an
Right, now
edgelord,
continue
huh? You're
anyway.
an edgelord?
I'll continue anyway. I'll try and figure it out.
Edgelord.
Because the music is not laggy though. The music was like fine, like no problems.
That is a bit weird. Leosin, you guys are taking a bit of time. Walks back down the stairs. Right. So, what are we thinking? What are we thinking, everyone?
I would like to give all of them a chance.
Yeah, fine. That's fine. We can. We'll just have to. Well, we just have to. We've got the money to pay for 2 of them, but we can work out wages and pay the 3rd, and we'll just figure it out at the end of the month.
Could we start with like a trial period? You don't have to pay as much for a trial period.
I mean, I can try and float that, or you can try and float that. Who would you like to keep on a trial basis?
Oh, I was thinking just telling them, like, yes, of course, you're on board, but for the first month, we must make sure, you're part of the team, that you're not going to stab us in our sleep, and therefore...
Oh,
I
right.
was just thinking an idea, and I'm not...
No, you're thinking all 3 on like a trial period, so slightly reduced, and then that means we can use the same money to pay for 2 of them to pay for 3 of them. Is that correct?
Yes.
I mean... You're welcome to give it a go, or at least even slightly reduce a little bit of extra cost. Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you can go up and try and persuade them of that.
Well, what do my friends think? I mean,
That sounds smart to me.
Mira says from in the kitchen.
She's making tea.
I'm a cook.
Yeah.
I'm a cook.
Just getting ready for some sky eels.
Sky eels.
Sky eels.
That's a hard one, actually. Sky eels. Yeah.
Sky eels. Right. I mean, if you think that's a good idea, one of you can head up and try and convince the others. I'd suggest someone charismatic would be a good idea. Someone who can actually. No offense, Lockie, but
Sorry, what?
Let's
no offense.
People love me.
let me give this a try. I'll give it a go.
Sure. I'll bring him down. They all come down the stairs. Right. So the crew, the team, the guilds have a proposition for the 3 of you.
So, quick question for DM.
Yes.
While everyone else was talking, I was figuring out just my Roll20. It's a lot better.
Yes.
Quickly, what am I actually asking them?
To
I was listening,
all of
but
them-
like,
All of them to take a slightly reduced pay as a month trial to offset the cost of having all 3 of them.
okay. Well, we were just wondering if for the first month it'd be like a probationary sort of period, figure you out, see if you're really, cut for our little crew here. So, if it's okay with all of you, a slight pay cut would be for the first month, and then onwards past that, well, we'll definitely talk about adding more to that monthly cost.
Make me a persuasion check.
It is +7, so...
And I'll roll for
Nice!
24. Corvin chatters. Very fair. Very fair. Arvel goes, I'd rather not be an intern again, but I understand
Not an intern,
probation.
just under a
Yes.
probationary.
I understand. Yes, I'm willing to accept these terms. That is
There's
fine.
also a period of training as well.
Indeed. Well, if we are continuing learning and development, I would like for any of the skills that I acquire to be taken into consideration for future pay. If I am capable of doing tasks by myself in the future, I would like that to be considered for future pay rise. Is that fair?
Of course.
Yes, potentially.
Grisha looks at us. Oh, you're really not going to pay me full amounts. I was hoping I could just go to other airship. You need me more than I need you.
Well, yes, but we sort of the other airships. It depends on sort of how you want to go about things, of course, and the life you want to lead. But well, this airship, we have a special sort of mission ahead of us. We are potentially thwarting world sort of altering events. So you could be you could be part of the history books with this one.
Does that come with more pay?
Yeah, well, down the line. Depends on what we get into, I guess.
Make me another persuasion
Nice.
check.
Okay. Not bad.
17.
To bed, not to bed.
Not bad. Oh, very well. I will take pay cut for the job. Ay, ay, ay.
There will be much glory to be had, and, well, with more treasures that we find,
I won't cut of treasure.
who knows what
I won't cut of treasure.
compensation you shall
5%.
receive.
5% cut of treasure, or I walk. She points to the stairs.
Look at Mira. What do you think about 5%?
It depends if there is any treasure to find.
And also,
He-
does that mean
man
we
said
have
treasure.
to keep it? We have to keep it fair. There are 3 of you. It'd be not fair to give it to one and not the others.
Yeah, but
Not
they're not strong as
5%?
Grisha. They're not strong as Grisha. Why they get
Yes.
5%? They weak. 2% for them.
They do
Arvel
have
sort of
other
goes,
skills.
Uh,
How about 3% of all of you?
I take 3. Yeah, I think it's very fair. Ooh, I love a good shiny thing. Lovely. Says Corvin.
King, my favorite.
I shake with all. I shake with. Oh, I sort of looked at Leos and looked at the other 3. Are we all happy with this? Do we have anything to add?
I think that covers it quite nicely. Gather your things. Your bunks are the next deck below, at the end of the ship. Head towards the front, towards the prow, and you can choose your beds on the lower ship. Ooh, I love a good bunk. Shall we have a frolic? Corvin sort of like moves on past. Thank you so much. I'm forever in your debt. I would have died out there if not for you.
No.
And then sort of gives a little bit of a chuckle.
Wait. Okay.
Someone
Someone said that to him. That's cool. That's a good
and-
reference. Kenku's at the best
Corvin.
references.
Corvin. Corvin moves through and heads below deck and chooses a bunk. Arvel sort of walks over towards you, Lockie, and stands and goes, right, I can choose a bed later, that's not important. Please, begin your instruction of me. I would like a tour of the facilities and to understand the engine. It'd be very useful to understand how the power systems and propulsion work on the ship. If I am to help maintain and assist you in your duties, then I think it should be you who teaches me.
Well, my friend, tell me, what do you know of double-back explosive territory?
Not something I am particularly well trained in, but I can learn.
I'm going to show you a map. Follow me.
Oh no.
Yeah. Arvel will go with you down towards the engine. I'll drop you 2 off in the engine. Grisha goes, I head up deck and lift gangway. We ready to go? Huh? We go?
There are a few more
Before
things
we-
I'll have to do. Yes.
Yes.
I need to head up to deck. There are a few more things, but if you want to help carry the rest of our supplies on board, you can join me up on the top deck, and you can carry some supplies down. Yeah, that's a good job for Grisha. That makes sense. Leos and Grisha head upstairs towards the top deck to begin moving some supplies onto the ship from the docks. As you guys are now standing together, in position, just hanging out, having gone through the process of hiring yourselves your new lovely interns, Susurrus walks down the stairs, passing Leosin, and steps towards you guys. Hey, so it seems you guys have picked up an airship. I did tell you that it was worth going and talking to Leosin, didn't I? Now, my question is, where do you want to go? What do you want to investigate? I've got information on a couple of different leads that I think would be very useful for you to follow up on. Varum the White, the bearer of the White Dragon Mask, or former bearer of the White Dragon Mask, I should say, was spotted not long ago. Yes, I thought that might pique your interest, Mira.
Let me guess.
Was spotted not long ago. There is a town, not too far away, a couple of days' travel by airship, Borsky Bridge, towards the north. Not on Oshia, you're going to be travelling across the seas for this one. On one of the Shattered Isles, just north of the Dwarven Kingdoms. I have whispers that Varum is looking for his mask. Poor Varum seems to have misplaced it. A thief in the night. I wonder who that could have been. Do you have any information concerning someone who had an interest in the White Dragon Mask? Something you care to share?
Hey, we definitely told her about that. Surely.
I have written down here. You might have mentioned it in passing, but I don't think you did talk about the person who you had a little bit of assistance from at the hunting lodge.
Oh.
Who I don't think you did.
Nope. We told her
Do you
shit
remember?
all.
I thought we.
Do you-
Okay.
I do remember. I have the notes. I remember who it is.
Perfect.
That was it, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll sort of. Oh, yes. Well, we were sort of contracted. Well, not really contracted. Tasked with, sort of having Varum not have his white mask anymore by someone named Talus the White.
Bit presumptuous to call herself Talus the White before acquiring the mask, but I suppose she's entitled to the title now.
She was definitely entitled.
now. Yes. So, you made an agreement with this person? Did they know who you were? Did she know she was
no.
making an agreement with the Tempest Guild? No. Okay, well that's something at least.
No, she contracted a black dragonborn and a red dragonborn and two other of their friends that were wearing robes.
Very good. Well, what I know of Talus from my whispers is that she thought that she deserved to be granted the White Mask from Severin. A name we have not been able to place an identity to just yet. We know he is the leader of the cult, but who or what he is and how he came to be in his position of power, we have no idea. He just appeared on the map.
Wait,
The
do you
last
know what he
couple of
actually is, though?
No, I don't know if he's human, dragonborn, dragon, no idea. Do
Well,
you
do you
know?
know
Is
that-
this... Oh, for fuck's sake.
Do you actually know that he is the red dragon mask wearer?
I know that he is a bearer of a mask. I didn't know it was the red mask. Very interesting.
And apparently, now, not entirely sure, but also I think he's the leader of the cult.
No, I knew that. I just said he was the leader of the cult. Have you seen
Well,
him? Do you know...
That's
have
my
you-
only intel.
Is he human? Is he? Oh, no, that's your only intel. I've heard you say that
Well,
before.
When we did actually see him and talk to him through an illusion,
Okay.
I think he was human.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. Did he say anything that might be useful in tracking him down? Did he give anything away? Why did he appear in illusion? Was that to you, or did you happen to overhear it?
Oh, I remember. We triggered it.
Okay, so you activated the communication.
And what did he say?
Well, this was quite a long time ago. From what I remember, it was more just sort of threats. It wasn't really
Okay.
anything tangible. I look at Mira and Lyra as well. I think Lyra was there. And I go, do you guys remember what was said?
I don't even remember the occasion.
That was just before Lyra joined us.
Oh, okay, got you.
Yeah.
I remember we found her in that room.
That was the session before Lockie and Lyra joined us.
Right, okay.
He was making the usual threats, Tiamat will rise, all of that sort of stuff. But we filled you in about this already.
Yes, of course. Well, that's one lead that you can investigate. The other is far towards the northwest. I think I might have a lead on where the Drakhorn is. Possibly up in Northgard, one of the isles far to the north.
That far? Carried that far? That's...
Oh yes, throughout the whole land.
And any intel on who called it?
No idea yet who was responsible for the sounding of the horn, just that it was, obviously, I think we can safely say at this point, the cult who did it, the Order of the Dragon. Possibly as a call to war, to mobilize Dragon and Dragonborn who were loyal to Tiamat during the ruin. And as a warning to us. It's a scary noise. People have not forgotten what that horn means. Sounded right before the sacking of Korand, one of the major cities, Alliance cities, just before, it was probably the moment that the war took a bloody turn, I think, was when the 23 chromatic dragons descended and burned an entire city to the ground. Entire population gone in minutes. Has a fearsome history, that horn, used to summon dread, and still dread into those who hear it, and galvanize those who serve Tiamat to their cause.
I'm not sure if we're quite ready to face that then. I think that this white musk could be a weak link in their chain. We know that their politics are shaky at best. He might be able to give us more intelligence.
Very good.
That's my thought.
I think it
I
makes
also
sense to
agree
follow
with
that
it.
then.
What Mira said, I agree with it. That is the, I think Varum is the one to go for.
Very well.
Yes.
I'll speak to your navigator then. I saw a very proud Leosin on the way down who said you hired some crew. Where would I find your navigator? Below deck?
You
Do we actually have a
should
crow's
be-
nest?
You know, he headed down to pick his bunk.
Ah, okay.
Or she headed down to pick her bunk, I should say. Right, well, I'll pop down and have a quick chat to your new navigator, plot out the course, and please make sure that when you next report in Jinn, you actually tell me useful information, you actually report things. It's what a debrief is, it's where you tell me what you have learned and share it so that I can act on that information, rather than just springing this shit on me when we're in a council, rather than just springing this shit on me in a council meeting. The council have already agreed to have another session in a number of weeks. Please have some good news for them before we go back. Your last showing was, well, poor. B-.
Mira looks
Well,
like
that wasn't entirely on me now. I was only there
I
for
didn't
half
say
of it.
I didn't say it was on you, but I was thrown under the bus by all of you. Jin, I thought you were a friend. How could you not share some of this information?
You know what I'm like. Sometimes I get distracted.
Well, it'd be a real shame if I got a bit distracted sometimes and forgot to warn you about some death assassins who had a bounty on your head and were coming for you. It'd be a real shame if I forgot to warn you about that, wouldn't it? Oh well. She walks past and begins walking towards the door to head downstairs.
That wasn't a idle
very-
threat, was it? Was that a joke?
Not sure. Must have slipped my mind. Walks through the door and keeps moving on through. Do you want to make me an insight check as she walks away?
Yes.
Go on.
Great.
You are not sure. As those words sink in, you're like, huh, there have been times in the past where she hasn't warned me about shit because she's been cross with me. Like that time I almost got expelled because I had been a bit shitty to her the day before, and then I almost got expelled because she didn't let me know that one of the examiners was doing like checks of the various bards colleges, and
I was
had
too busy
some sort of
hacky sacking.
illicit substance. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And then that one time where she forgot to let you know that the guards were after one of the disguises that you often took on, and so you got arrested by accident and spent 2 days in prison because you had to you'd taken on the shape of someone else who the guards were actually looking for. She forgot to tell you about that too because she was cross with you. Yeah. You're not sure. You're like, oh, okay.
I might follow her as she goes down.
Yeah. You can head on through.
Try and catch her before she gets down below deck.
She's just walking down the stairs as you catch up to her.
Oh, Sussers, my good old friend. You wouldn't be hiding information from me again like those other times.
Oh, Jin, would I hide information from you? You would never hide information from me, would you?
Well, remember that time I spent in the jail? 2 nights.
Yes, you disguised yourself as a criminal. Yes?
Yes.
Sorry, Jim. Very busy. I've got to keep moving. No time to share critical information with you, unfortunately. Very busy lady.
I sort of like, as she's like walking away, I like use like a. Or I'm just gonna do. You know what? We're on an airship, and fuck it. I'm gonna do a 3rd level spell.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Of major image.
Okay.
And right in front of this, I'm gonna have like in a 20-foot space, this huge eruption of just like these like golden flowers and all that. With like, if I've done something to offend you, I'm sorry as a plaque.
Make me a persuasion check with advantage for your major image. That was awesome.
And there's also like other like
19.
frizzles and frazzles, and like also like added some like fireworks and other such things. Like
and then it says like, I'm sorry. She sort of like pauses as she looks at the image and then turns around and looks at you and goes, that'll do for the moment. No assassins are after you at this point. But if you keep mucking this shit up and pissing me off, there will be.
I sort of say to her, you're one of the very few people who actually know my past. And well, assassins coming after me could actually be a thing.
Yes, that's why I used it as a threat. I knew it would get your attention and hopefully teach you a valuable lesson. Don't keep secrets from me. Got it?
Understood.
She's going to make an insight check on that.
And I've locked the key, and it is deeply in here.
How honest are you being?
I'm attempting to be honest. Like I'm sure that I'll probably do it, but Jin, at the very back of his mind, sort of knows there's a little part of him that might forget things because he does get distracted.
That's different. Yeah, forgetting's different. This is intentionally keeping secrets from her. In that case, you don't need to roll a deception check. She will roll an insight check. Whatever she sees in your body language and in your eyes, she seems to accept. She nods. Take care of yourself, Jin, and please don't lie to me in future. She walks through the doors and heads down towards the Kinku.
I'll drop the major image.
Yeah, nice. Good call. Fantastic. Well, I will bring you guys across to a new map.
Ooh.
This is a big one.
Oh, is this the world map?
Yeah, and you have a token for your airship. The world map should load in a second, but it's massive. This is the full. Yeah, you can zoom in on this bad boy. So I'll just zoom out to give the. So we'll give it a second to load. But this is the world map of Nostea. So we will get to have a little bit of a chance to explore this. I'll just let that finish loading in, and then we can zoom back in, and I will give you control of your airship. So you actually have a little token that represents your airship, and you can go for proper expeditions across the world map.
Awesome, it's loaded in.
Fantastic. Yeah, it takes a few seconds, but yeah, it's a big old map.
Cool.
So currently you guys are on the continent of Oshia, in the capital city of Palin. That is why your airship is located just outside of Palin. The locations that you have been informed of, Varan the White has been spotted on the continent of Nuna, near the location called Borskia Bridge, which is just here on the map, which I'm pinging for you.
Mm-hmm.
And the horn, the Drakhorn, has been heard apparently in the realm of Northgard, which is a series of broken, shattered isles up towards the north of Oshia. Just to give some extra context, just for fun, the area down towards the south here, the elemental states, is where most of the Ganassi are. This area through here is where most of the Leonin and what are they called again? Satyrs come from. These are the shattered islands all around here, which is a series of border islands where the floating cities move around and between. Over towards the west, you've got Liela, which is the continent that's sort of only recently been discovered. The Obsidian Isles down towards the south, which is another new discovery as well. And then back towards the west, we've got Chiari, which is where the Dragonborn and dragons come from. This is where Mira, you're from, the continent of Chiari. Bolmir is the Dwarven Kingdoms, which is where the Mountain Dwarves have their large kingdom. And then Isha is very much sort of shrouded in mystery. There's not many outposts on Isha, and it's not very well explored or understood. It's often known as the Dark Continent or the Dark North. Yeah, it's fun facts. So yeah, you guys are currently down here. Most of your work has been in Oxenfurt, which is over towards here. Posted is where you guys travelled through. Green Nest is just down towards here. Down towards here, just past Woolwodge. And then Palin you've been to as well. Zaranthan Fields, which is where Wiltix was from, is just down over this way. Just thought it'd be good to have a full world map and give a bit of context to where everyone's been and from.
Cool.
Yeah, so that is our new high-def world map.
That looks really nice.
Thank you. I might shrink the airship down just a touch more so that it's a nice little small token. So yeah, that is your airship. I will give all of you control over it, so all of you can move it. Please don't disappoint me with this level of control.
And off the map.
And the name of the airship is An Air of Decency, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Decency, there we go. I'll make sure it's got its nameplate too. There we go. So, my question to you guys is... don't disappoint me. My question to you guys is... Where would you like to go? Where would you like to go?
Well, I don't think we have anything in Palin left to do.
No,
No.
not I can think of.
And the Dragonhorn might be a little bit out of our reach just yet, so low-hanging fruit?
Yeah, I reckon.
I think Varam's the one to go for anyway.
Yeah, definitely. No information and
Yeah.
Perfect.
Alright.
Also, just from my own information, so I recall it correctly. We also gave the vampire Barris's name, was it? Because I remember we dropped the wrong name to the vampire.
Oh, you did, yeah. Which name did you say to the vampire? I'll have to check my notes. I hope I recorded that information.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Here we are.
Because I thought it was Varys that we were trying to get her to go after, or
Talus. You said Talus to her.
You said Talus.
You said Talus. Not Varam.
yeah.
Cool.
That's fine.
Okay.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah. So we might actually move on. That's fun. Cool.
Alrighty. So, we will have you guys begin moving across. As you have the last of the supplies boarded on the airship, the route has been mapped out. Corvin comes up and begins sort of laying out the plan to Leosin, who takes the helm. The gangway is removed from the ship, and as you stand at the prow of the boat, I'll actually bring you guys across the airship just as it disembarks, so you can get a little bit of a visual from that, and you can enjoy the description of it disembarking. I'm assuming all of you come up to the top deck once everything's been put on board.
Yeah, I reckon.
Yeah, I'll bring you up to the top deck. I'll just move. Here we go. Alrighty, perfect. Yes, as you come back up to the top deck and begin getting ready to depart, Sorcerer stands on the border of the docks, watching your airship get ready to depart. With Leosin towards the top of the back of the boat, what is the back of the boat called? The aft. There we go. I got there. Got a nice aft ears. As he's on the back of the aft of the boat, getting in position to move the ship. Grisha's sort of standing over to the side, checking on some of the engines, sort of watching with a little bit of trepidation as she sees the engines boot up and begin spinning rapidly. Lockie, having finished all the pre-flight checks and making sure all of the engines running smoothly and you've got enough fuel, you were able to come up to the top deck. The engine doesn't need any maintenance or oversight just at this moment, and you can join on the top deck.
He's really curious to watch it all work anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. The rotors of the airship begin spinning rapidly. Currents of air begin flowing alongside the ship, and the docks themselves begin retracting, allowing the ship to pull away from port and rise up into the sky. Leosin begins turning the ship around as it takes a final look over the capital city of Palin. You can see below you people moving through the docks, people moving through the city, until you can't see them anymore either, just dots on the ground. As the buildings shrink further and further away as you begin rising high into the sky. Not so much lateral movement, more the vertical movement at this point. It reaches a point where even the buildings are just small dots, until it's just another point on the map as the airship begins moving up through the clouds. The sky is blue and crystal clear as you breach the lower layer of the cloud bank high above Palin. And as you look out, you can see the sun is high above. Probably it's about midday at this point, given all the adventures and things like that, and having a bit of a rest on the ship and getting prepared. It's about midday by the time you guys take off. Leosin begins turning the ship towards the east, towards starboard, as he moves away from the port. The ground below you quickly moves into a blur of green, dotted with occasional fields and farmland. The air very quickly becomes a little bit chilly. Not so much of a bother to Mira, who is half silver dragon, but the rest of you, and I should say Lockie as well, who's made of metal, but the rest of you do notice there's a slight chill in the air as the airship rises high above the land. And you do very quickly find that the air becomes a little bit on the thinner side, but not as thin as it should be, given the height you guys are currently flying at. Lockie, you would know that the elemental ring underneath the electrum ring also helps collect basically a bubble of air around the ship as well, maintaining breathable atmosphere, as it is powered by air elemental energy. Mm-hmm. And yeah, you guys find yourselves moving through the clear blue skies. I would like Lyra to roll me a d10 and Mira to roll me a d10, please, as we do our first airship encounter.
Ooh.
So, Owen, while they're doing the dice rolls, I think Jin would just go down. Oh, he'll get his. He's actually got his the bag of holding, and he'll probably look through all his disguises and grab one that is actually quite more fur sort of lined, a bit more cold weathery.
Yep.
If that's, if he's got that on hand.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'd say you've got something that's a bit warmer for warmer weather. So we've got a 10 and a 7. Beautiful. Okay. Okay, sure. So my question is, so we know that Illyrian goes down and then comes back up with a nice warm coat. Corvin basically begins sort of standing up on the after the deck next to Leosin, keeping an eye out and sort of using the landscape below and the position of the sun above, as well as a number of navigator's tools to try and determine the route that they're taking. And you can see that he has a large open map on his lap of the current area that you guys are moving over. I will move you back to the world map for this a bit as you move along. So he sort of is poring over these maps, keeping an eye out for where you guys are and where you're currently going. What are the rest of you doing while this is happening?
Well, Lockie is moving from engine to engine just to have a look at how they're running and checking that everything's whirling and spinning in the right ways. Also, he'll ask his friends, because he doesn't actually breathe, it's like, how are you finding the air? Is it fresh? Because it should be perfectly breathable. I unfortunately I can't tell.
Not as thin as I thought it would be.
Okay.
It is quite surprising.
Well, that's good, and it's doing its job. But just wondered, does it feel like it's what? How would you describe it? Is it like city air or is it like mountain air? Because I believe there's some tweaks I could make. We could make it feel a little bit fresher, if it's not.
Well, that's a good question, Owen. Would it be more like mountain air?
Yeah, exactly like mountain air. Quite a little bit on the thinner side, but fresh, crisp. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I'd just say that then.
Wonderful.
Okay. Yes, that's what he's doing.
Nice.
Yeah. So, and looking at the engines, making sure they're all working fine, and getting a feel for how the ship is functioning and how she feels as she flies.
Absolutely. Can you make me I was going to say insight check, but an intelligence insight check. So I guess I'd like you to roll me an Arcana check.
Oh.
17, Lockie.
Nice.
Yeah, as you sort of begin spending a bit of time with the engine and the ship itself, you get the feeling that it has been well maintained despite being a slightly older model. It has been refurbished quite nicely. A number of the refurbishments have definitely been done professionally. The ship is very smooth in its ascent and descent. One of the things you've got to watch out for is the electrum ring can sometimes degrade, and you get a bit of a leakage of that air elemental energy, which means you get a very rapid or stuttering ascent and descent, but very, very smooth. It looks like that's been replaced or well looked after. Definitely the front left engine. The front left turbine is slightly... it hasn't been as well maintained as the other three, so you do notice that there's a slight lean towards the right. The ship does have a little bit of a slight rightwards lean, and it does tend to want to sort of curve to the right a little bit as a result of this turbine not functioning fully. But you think if you spend a bit of time when it's not turning, so next time you guys park the ship and turn off the turbines, which you can do without dropping, you can have the ship be stationary in the air. That's absolutely fine. You think you could have a bit of a go at repairing that when you need. Fantastic. And Mira, what would you be doing?
Actually, Mira's trying to keep organised. All of the all of the papers, everything is organised and put into folders. But as she kind of feels the wind and the cold, she's decided, I'll just take my work outside, and so she takes it outside. And she's pretty much forgotten about it as she's just standing there in the prow of the ship looking out over the clouds and maybe a bit of rain and ice on her face. Loves it.
Yep. Gotcha.
And maybe has lost a couple of papers, but don't tell her.
As they sort of fly behind and disappear off the ship, it probably wasn't important.
Probably not.
No, I love that. That's fantastic. And Lyra, what would you be doing?
I think Lyra is just running around like crazy, like a hyped up little cat, like a hyped up little kid on a city cat for the first time, like just running from bow to bow, like looking over the edge, trying to spot animals, like just generally like, holy shit.
Yeah, absolutely. Make me a perception check, please.
Perception, eh?
Perception, please. 18. Very good, Lyra. I think that was everyone. So let's jump back to the power of the ship.
I'll probably add.
Sorry,
because it only takes like a minute to get the
to grab a coat. It's very true.
In my downtime, I'm just gonna keep working on training myself in the use of the thieves' tools that I picked up.
Yep,
Because
absolutely.
we don't really have anyone who can actually unpick like locks and all that. So I actually bought some locks, and I'm practicing on them. And I'm using the thieves' tools and just using my downtime to train in it, and potentially become proficient.
I think that makes a lot of sense just in general. I was going to say for your character, but just in general, that makes a lot of sense. Absolutely. In that case, I will chuck you below deck, Jin. I'll chuck you down in your room. That's your room there? No, that's your room there. Lockie, I guess you're in the engine room with Arvel, who is accompanying you, doing his best to learn from you and spending as much time as possible, sort of learning what you're doing. And could I actually, there's one more check I'm going to get you to do, Lockie.
Yep.
Actually, no, this should be Arvel who does the check. Basically like a learning check. Like, what does he learn from you? So I'm going to roll for him. 16. Yeah, look, despite your slightly lower charisma, you are very knowledgeable in what you're talking about. And with the ability to demonstrate and show physically in the real world what you want him to do and what you want him to learn, it's much easier for him to learn from you. If you'd just been explaining this by yourself, I would have had you roll a persuasion check or persuasion or performance check maybe, but because you are able to just demonstrate physically in the real world what you want, Arvel is able to pick up quite a bit of information from you, and you do get the sense that if you were to leave the ship, as long as everything was in perfect working order, Arvel could maintain the engine in a way that would allow it to function. He can turn it on and off, and he can also check for signs of problems. That's about it. But if you were to leave the ship wouldn't be stranded. He could power up the engine and allow the ship to fly.
Cool.
After your instruction, because I guess that would be the most important. After that, what other things would you be trying to focus on teaching him? After like turning it on and off, what would be the next most important thing in Lockie's mind to teach Arvel how to do?
Let me see. This is a fun question. You know what? He's already proficient with like magically arcana stuff, and I noticed on the front of the ship the engines there are shaped. Are they weapons as well?
At the very, very front? No, that's just the shape of the turbines themselves.
Okay, that's the intake. Okay, gotcha. All right, well then,
it's the intake.
Then what I would, notice signs of wear and stuff like that. I would start running him through like just the basic maintenance.
Cool.
Things that would be routine maintenance.
Yeah, so like
stuff like that.
This
So
is the oil. It needs to be kept like. This is what needs to be kept oiled. This is what needs to be kept lubricated. This shouldn't be turning. This needs to be like, you need duct tape for this. Like, this is where the WD-40 goes. This is where the duct tape goes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're sort of basically getting to the point where he'll eventually be able to stay down there and you be up on deck with us and not really worry about him too much.
Exactly. Like
miss the combat.
Once I step him through the first stages of maintenance, then I'll get him to the point of combat maintenance.
Yeah, cool.
Which So he needs to run before walk before he can run. So if I can get him to do basic maintenance, then I can step him up to combat. So if in the middle of a fight we've taken some damage and are like listing or something's going a little bit wrong, I can rely on him to stop the problem getting worse.
We might have to give you guys some form of like communication, like sending stones or something. I don't know. Just so he can converse with you while you're on deck and he's below deck.
I did have some thoughts about this, and I was
perfect.
And there's a few things that I want to do. There's a few like little projects for the ship that I want to do, and one of them is actually a communication between like the helm and the engine room.
Yeah, nice.
Would be great. So even some form of like, just like it can be, but it doesn't have to be magical. So some kind of like talking horn or something along the way is there. So
just make up one of the old, like in the playground.
Cans in a wire.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, kind of.
It's
I
like,
mean, in the midst of combat, that sounds like it's going to be a reliable communication system. I like it. That's good.
Well, see, in some childcare centers, they have these things now, which they're shaped like the Rigola. They're shaped a bit like those horns, and they can talk.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And they go underground and
and they go underground and pop up in other places. Yeah, so
Okay.
That's one of my projects. That'll be during like long.
I like it. You could just, I mean, the engine room is directly below the helm. The only problem is that if you had a pole or a copper tubing coming up through here, you could only put it here because the floor above is the kitchen and the galley. So I'll bring you across to show you what I mean. If you had it coming up through the floor,
pass it through the kitchen.
You could pass it through the kitchen. You could pass it through the pole.
You'd have like a stripper pole. Yeah, that's it. You'd have to put it through the kitchen. Otherwise, you're gonna have like a stripper pole in the middle of the galley there.
And then it also has a second effect that if there needs to be some kind of announcement through the levels, at least we know we can get through all 3 levels at once, being like, hey, I can get on board or something.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea. I really like it. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with for that. Perfect. So up on the top deck, we've got Grisha, Lyra, Mira, Corvin, and Leosin. Lyra, as you're sort of looking around, looking for animals to spot on the ground below, you notice there are some birds that are flying past. You see a few very sort of like high up transatlantic birds, so things like albatross that sort of traverse the wind currents are high above. You can see the occasional sort of large insect. There's a couple of large insects, so massive butterflies the size of houses that sort of stay in this upper atmosphere level, flying about, moving through the clouds and staying well away from the airship, which to them would appear to be some sort of predator. And these are skyflies that basically just live off the cloud dew. They just live off the moisture from the clouds. When you're sort of looking down, out of the corner of your eye, you catch a shadow, large, almost bat-like wings, on a cloud below you. And as you sort of turn and look, you look down, you can't quite figure out what's coming from, and then as you turn and look up, you see these creatures flying in the air above you in the process of dropping quite quickly towards the deck of the ship. And I'll describe them to you. Large lion-like body with a long draconic tail and massive bat-like wings and 3 heads.
Oh, fuck.
You see a monstrous form drop towards the deck of the ship. What I will have is obviously Lyra, Mira, and Grisha will roll me their oh my goodness. What's the word I'm looking for? Initiative, thank you. Oh my god. I was going to say inspiration. Roll me their inspiration checks as 2 Chimera begin descending towards the deck of the ship.
If they hit the deck of the ship, could I roll like a perception check?
Oh, I'm going to have you guys roll me. So Lockie and Illyrian, absolutely. Lockie and Jin, please roll me your checks as well.
So I'll just do perception then to see if I can sense anything.
Oh, you don't have to do perception? I'll have you roll me initiative as well, but then as they hit the deck of the ship, I promise you will hear this.
Okay.
So Mira's 7.
Wonderful.
Perfect. Yeah, there's no way you can't hear this.
Gotcha. What are their dex scores? I think I see one on 11.
Their dex scores are 11, so +0.
Okay, so I'm higher dex than them, so I'll go before
Perfect.
that one.
So our initiatives, we've got Mira on 7, Lockie on 3. Let me just update that, Lockie. Lockie on 3. Jin on 11, Lyra on 17. Lyra, very nice. I'll roll for Leosin and Corvin. How come Corvin's thing didn't come up? There we go. Corvin
Does
got
Grisha
6.
ask there as well?
Yeah, her thing hasn't come up too. I'll just add it manually. It's frustrating when they don't appear. Grisha is also a 8. Alrighty. So, Lyra, as you turn and look up and see these creatures descending towards you, you were able to call out a quick cry of alarm. Leosin, alerted to your cry, looks up as well and sees, goes, "Shit! Chimera!" He calls out. Corvin next to him sort of like cowers, begins rolling up the maps as quickly as he can. Leosin goes, "All hands on deck!" as loud as he can. On the first floor, Illyrian, you absolutely hear this.
Right.
with your passive perception, you hear him scream out, "Chimera!" as loud as he can. Lockie, I am actually going to need you to roll me a perception check because you are below deck in the engine room, and it's a bit loud in the engine room.
Very loud in the engine room, yes.
I'll roll for Arvel too. Oh, good, okay. And let's see your perception check, Lockie. 6. Lockie, you don't hear anything, but Arvel does. Arvel grabs your shoulders and goes, There's Chimera. There's Chimera. You need to head upstairs. I can handle the engine. You need to get upstairs. I'm no good in a fight."
See, if I were to twist this, like, sorry, what? Oh,
No, there's Chimera attacking the skyship. You need to know just quickly.
All right. I'll take this. All right, off we go. Good luck.
I've got this. Yes, good luck to you.
Perfect. Leosin on his turn begins pushing the power to the engines. Lockie, inside the engine room, you hear the acceleration begin as Leosin attempts to try and outrun these things, realizing that probably a battle on the deck of the airship is going to be a real problem. He begins pushing the engines as hard as he can as he puts it into full speed mode ahead. You feel the airship sort of shudder beneath you as the engines start kicking in. He's going to use his full turn to move the airship forwards as fast as he can to basically start the acceleration process. Lyra, you're up next. You see these Chimera dive bombing the ship 100 feet away tops at this point as they begin basically flying down as fast as they can towards the deck of the ship.
Alright, so what Lyra's gonna do first of all is just try and roughly gauge where she thinks both Chimeras are gonna land on the deck. With her action, she's going to do a 3rd level conjure animals.
Okay,
and
what are you conjuring?
Summon a giant constrictor snake. Please
Absolutely.
tell the giant constrictor snake, hey, you're gonna be constricting one of those chimeras. I'm gonna go get the other one. We're gonna wait for them to land, and the second that they get within, grabbing distance to, hold them to the deck of the ship, then, she's like, okay, be ready to do that, essentially. And then with her bonus action, she wild shapes into a giant constrictor snake herself.
Okay, I'm gonna need to get some tokens for giant constrictor snakes. Lucky, I actually already have some.
Nice.
Clearly, I'm used to having druids on the deck of my airship. So, Lyra, I'm gonna give you control of both of them. One of them I will call you, and that will be you as a constrictor snake, controlled by Lyra. And the other one will be, I won't give it a name, and that will just be your giant constrictor snake.
Sweet.
There you go. I will move your token to the GM layer. You are now in control of your giant constrictor snakes. I'm assuming you summon them just next to you. You just summon this snake next to you. So you're going to use up both your wild shapes. Oh, sorry, you can't see your... Oh, sorry, because you don't have vision. Sorry, I can fix that really easily. Hiccup. How's that?
Hey, I can see everything again. Surprise.
Fantastic. So you use Conjure Animals, 3rd level spell, and then bonus action turn yourself into a giant constrictor snake. Amazing. Yep, fantastic.
And then just with the movement, I just want to be about where they're going to land, I guess.
And your snake at the other one to try and command it over to the other... Yeah, that makes sense.
So
perfect, yeah, so as you conjure this spell, you begin pulling at the air around you, summoning Fey spirits from the Feywilds in the plane adjacent to this one. As one of the spirits pulls through, you begin compressing the magic to turn it into the shape of a snake. The spirit obliges gladly as you provide it with the energy to bring it across this plane, and you watch as this air spirit takes on the shape of this snake. White and slightly cloud-like. You can see sort of wisps of cloud coming out from its mouth. Bright blue and white as you basically summon it from an air spirit. So it takes on a bit of an air form, this giant constrictor snake. And then you transform into the one that you've seen in your past, which is a much more classic sort of python-like appearance. And you move forward. Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic. Oh, I've just realized you can't see your initiative because I moved you to the GM layer. Instead, what I'll do then, I'll leave you on the token layer, but we'll chuck your token off the side of the ship. There we go. Problem solved.
Bye!
So I've got somewhere else I can hide you. Here we go. I can hide your though down here. There we go. That should keep you hidden, but allow you to stay in the initiative order. Cool. Anything else on your turn, Lyra? That's action, bonus action, and movement. I think that's it, isn't it?
Yeah, no, she is completely tapped out now.
Fantastic.
That was monster of a turn. That's right.
A lot of stuff. Good prep. The Chimera towards the left-hand side.
Owen, remember I had...
Oh, you're first. Yeah. Sorry, you are first.
No,
sorry,
okay.
Illyri.
Sorry.
You are next. No, thank you.
Which staircase leads up? Is it this one? Or
No,
is it
the
this
back one. Unfortunately, it's the back one.
That one down there.
Yeah.
Shit.
I know. I'm
So,
sorry.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Yep. And then dash.
Yeah, I got a dash. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That's my action.
Mhm.
Bonus actions. Let me just quickly check. Okay. I'm gonna get it set up now.
Yep.
I took as an additional magical secret spiritual weapon.
Yep.
So I don't have to have because I got tons of concentration stuff, and I just wanted something that wasn't concentration and could eat up my second
absolutely.
spell slot. So as I'm sort of running through here, I sort of start my hands start sort of moving in motion, and I start sort of whispering the words. And as I sort of am running, this spectral green like sword with a slight curve sort of appears next to me. It's quite ornate looking. It's like a long sword, but like just a little bit of a curve, and it's ornate, and it is just like a spectral green color. And that will be sort of bobbing ahead along with me as I'm sort of running towards the top of the deck.
Okie dokie. I think the best I will attempt to draw your spectral sword, but the closest I've got at the moment is this one here.
That'll be fine for now.
There you go, and I'll give you control of that so that you can move it. Controlled by. There you go. You should have control of that sword now.
Perfect.
Beautiful. And that's your full turn. Alrighty,
Pretty
yeah.
much, yeah.
The Chimera on the left, screaming down from the air above, flies 60 feet directly down. It's now 20, 30 feet above the deck of the ship. And as it looks down upon you, it breathes out a gout of flame. The dragon head sort of turning, going, oh, as this flame pours across the deck. I'm going to need... Oh, actually, it can't. It's just a little bit out of range. In that case, it'll dash and smash into the deck of the ship, crashing down next to you, Lyra, as this monstrous lion form with this goat head, dragon wings, and dragon tail smashes into the deck of the ship. That's its action to dash. That's all it can do. Grisha. Grisha, seeing this, goes, ah! Pulls out her great axe, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and she's going to take a swing at it. Oh, yeah. She misses. As Grisha pulls out her axe and swings, it just swipes across the body of the Chimera, but it just misses completely as it ducks underneath the dragon head, sort of menacing this flame and magma pouring out its mouth.
This could be a very quick
Mira.
probation period.
Mira, you're up next.
Okay, so I need to get out of the way of this situation. Okay, I'm going to back up. Because I'm squishy. 5, 10, 15, 25, 30.
Mhm.
And then I'm going to cast Web on this one here.
Fantastic. So the range of web, I believe, is 10 feet, 15 feet for web, the size of the web.
20-foot cube.
20-foot cube. Let me chuck down a spider web.
So Mira's web is actually a tangle of ice shards, and it kind of like spreads from her hands like a snowflake in intricate
That's right.
snowflake patterns as it kind of attaches itself to the creature on the floor in icy shards.
So it's a 20-foot... There we go. So where would you like it? Sort of not attacking the giant constrictor snake, so about there? Oh, you can't see that. Sorry. Let me make sure you can see it.
I was going to...
So you should be able to...
That the constrictor snake is not going for.
Sorry. You should be... You can't see the tint, can you? Sorry. Now you should be able to see it. How's that?
Yes, I can see it.
Perfect. Is that a good spot? Is that where you'd like your web to be active?
Yes, I think so. That's the one that the boa constrictor's not going for, isn't it?
So Lyra as boa constrictor is going for this one here. Her summoned boa constrictor is going for this one here.
Yep, okay. I will still go for...
This one isn't on the deck of the ship, though, just so you know. It's still 100 feet up in the air. This is the only one that's on the deck of the ship.
Oh,
You could web it in midair. What's the range?
It's not that big.
Ah, damn.
Yeah, that would be cool. 60-foot range.
Because I was thinking if you web up its wings.
Yeah, that's what
Crunch.
that's what I wanted to do. But no, it's I'll go for the other one then. I have to go for the other one on the ground.
Yeah, cool. If you drop the web there, you can miss Lyra and Grisha.
Yep, perfect.
Actually, or do you want to drop it back there? It's still going to get it, but...
Yes, I don't want to get the
The engines.
engine.
Cool. I didn't want to say anything, but yeah. I was
no,
like, and that's the engine that's
didn't want to
partially...
think- I was looking at it because I've been thinking about the engines. I looked at it and I went,
No, I
was like,
about to
oh,
say
no.
it. So it's okay.
The front left's the one that's partially damaged. Yeah, it's the one that's already partially damaged. Lockie already knows that it's not running at full capacity. It'd be a shame if someone webbed it.
I know. I'm thinking to myself, I can't fireball, I can't wall fire, I can't do this, I can't do that. Airships are terrible for sorcerers. Terrible.
Yeah. Use your ice magic. Yeah, so you cast web. I need to make a dexterity saving throw, I believe.
On its turn. Yeah.
On its turn. Cool. Alright, easy peasy. That's your action. Anything else on your turn, Mira?
No, I will just back the fuck up.
Absolutely. Corvin is going to pack up all of his maps. He's going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 5, 10, 15, 20, and head below deck very, very briefly to drop off all of his maps and supplies. Illyrian, you see Corvin like coming down the stairs. Danger! We are under attack.
But I thought you were
truly
a glorious
monstrous.
warrior.
Must protect the goods. Protect the goods. He points to his maps. She points to her maps, I should say.
Yep.
Lockie.
all right.
Yep.
Oh my god, there's a lot of running.
There's
Yeah.
I know, I have questions. Is this a window?
Yes.
Can I fit out of it with my armor on?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Ooh.
Okay, that makes sense. All right. The third question: how tall, how deep or tall is the ship?
So each deck is roughly 8 feet. The ceiling is 8 feet high, 8 to 9 feet high on each deck.
Okay, and I'm the third one down, so it would be 8, 16, 24.
16, 24. Yeah. And let's say maybe 26 for because there's like a 2-foot railing as
Railing,
well.
yeah.
Let's make it really fair.
Okay.
But you're climbing out halfway, so actually let's bring it back down to 22 because you're climbing out at the halfway point of that deck. And if the roof is 8 feet from the floor, it's only 4 feet from the window.
Okay. Cool.
If we're going to get really numbers heavy here, and it is
Yeah.
D&D, so we fucking are.
Fuck yeah. All right. So I will then, as my action, don my arm now,
Yep.
and then. Press that in a second. Then I'll look at my new friend and be like, "Watch out for that! If we get to under, it's going to go. So just keep it, steady." And then I'm gonna run out the door. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Yep. Climb on the bed.
35 gets me to the window.
Yep.
So then I have,
It's your movement speed 35. Very nice.
yeah,
Yeah.
I have my little teleporting thing, which goes 15, but then that's not going to get me to the top of the thing, is it?
No, not quite. You would have to climb out, climb a little bit, and then use your teleporting thing to get up to the top.
Okay. So I'm not going to be able to do it this turn, am I?
Probably not this turn, but athletics or acrobatics check to get out the window, and then teleportation. No, that's going to be a bit easier to get up there.
Yeah. Sorry, say again?
Oh no! If all you need to do is climb up a little bit, and then you can teleport. That's still much better than having to climb up the side of the airship, right underneath one of the propellers.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. All right. Well, he's gonna sort of like prime himself against the window and just sort of have a little look and be like, "This is so undignified."
Nice. Chimera 2 drops with a scream onto the deck of the ship. Again, has to use its full movement to get down, so you've had a whole turn of prep, so that's pretty good, in considering where you guys were on the ship. This time, instead of landing right where the constrictor snake is, it's actually going to move part of its movement to start moving towards the bow of the ship. So it's got 60 feet straight down and then 60 feet straight ahead, which means it's still got 20 feet of movement. So 5, 10, 15, 20. It can get to about here as it begins flying towards the deck of the ship and towards Mira and Leosin. As it lands on the deck, it growls at you, Mira, the dragon head roaring this right in your direction. Leosin, seeing them land on the deck of the ship, goes, shit. Full speed ahead. Should I slow us down? What do you think, Mira?
I don't know. Lockie is the one to ask that question. Just normal. Just don't
Okay.
things.
He is then going to pull out a crossbow and fire a shot at the Chimera. He's going to not take his action to speed up the ship. He's going to fire a crossbow. That hits for 6 damagios. Lyra, or should I say, Lyra.
Good God.
Alright. So, pretty much Lyra and Fae Snake Lyra are pretty much going to be doing the same thing. Both of them are going to be constricting their various targets. So, Fae Lyra is going to jump over this way and do a constriction on this one, and Lyra is going to do a constriction on this guy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So it is you are huge. You're a huge beast, so you can grapple a creature that is. Oh no, you can just grapple. There's no limit to the size of the creature you can grapple. That's hilarious. That's ridiculous.
Yep.
It's like, what if it's like a rock? I grapple its leg. It's grappled.
Yeah.
That makes no sense. I'm gonna say it can't grapple something 2 sizes bigger than it. The good news is Chimera are not 2 sizes bigger than a giant constrictor snake. You're sweet as to carry on.
Awesome.
Cool. Do you want to make me those attacks? So it's a attack to hit, and then it's grappled until its turn.
Okay,
it's a
so the
strength save, I
first
believe.
attack to hit.
23 is going to hit.
And
Absolutely.
then- Oh my god, I've got numbers coming everywhere out of the sheet. And then the damage should be this one here.
I believe a giant constrictor snake should be 2d8 plus 4.
Yeah.
16. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah,
That's
so
against
that's
the one.
Lyra one, and then
Yep.
I'll do her Fae.
And it is grappled. I will chuck down a symbol to indicate it is grappled. We'll use the net symbol, I think.
And then... Oh no!
9's
Does
not
that-
quite enough. As this constrictor snake, this summoned constrictor snake goes to grapple it, the wings beat down and smack its head away and push it back with this puff of wind, preventing it from getting too close to the Chimera. The lion head turns and roars at this snake.
Alright, other than that, I don't have any bonus actions, so I'm all good to go.
We're over to Jin.
Okay. So 5, 10, 15.
20, and you're on the deck of the ship.
No, 5, 10.
There you go.
I'll take the sword with me as well.
Yep. Can appear right next to you, right on top of Mira.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
So yeah, I would
As you rush up.
So I'll definitely peek sort of out and have a look at the sort of how we're looking. So what scene sort of is sort of before me, Owen?
So as you look across the deck of the ship, you can see Grisha is swinging her great axe against one of the Chimera at the back of the ship, which is semi-tangled in this icy web of this sort of network of icicles forming this lattice web. Another snake is attempting to grapple this other Chimera, which is running towards the prow, running towards the aft of the ship where you guys are and where Leosin is. Leosin is sort of reloading a crossbow. Mira is looking a bit concerned as she pulls back towards the stairs. And that's what you see before you.
Okay, I'm going to have my spectral sword just go to there for now.
Yep.
Then I'm going to cast, with my action, another major image. 20 foot here.
Yep.
I'm going to basically, as I come up on deck and look at the scene sort of unfurling before me, I'm like, okay, this could be interesting. So then I look to the side and I conjure into, and so 20 feet cube. It says I can sort of play with. So I'm going to conjure an ancient dragon illusion.
Okay. Fantastic.
Oh.
I think an ancient black dragon should be fine. 20 foot, you say?
Yeah.
There you go.
So,
Right there?
yeah, I'm going to have it sort of... So, basically, with the major image, I'll put it up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no larger than 20-foot cube. It seems completely real, including sounds, smells, and
Yeah.
temperature appropriate to the thing depicted.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, so I imagine chimeras can't understand us in common.
No, they can't.
I'll sort of shout, that thing on the right, that's friend, don't attack it, nothing to fear. And then I sort of will have it, so yeah, I'll sort of have it like coming from under the ship
Yeah.
and flying up. And then it just lets out a huge roar.
Yeah.
Because it can do sound and smell.
Yep,
And I'll do a
absolutely.
huge roar, and a gout of like acidy breath will sort of come out of its mouth, and
Yeah.
it's just staring at the chimeras, like ready to pounce on them pretty much and tear them to shreds.
Absolutely.
So a huge roar there, really to catch their sort of attention.
Yeah.
Because this is
100%.
not this is an ancient dragon. I did the
Yeah, it's
size
massive.
measurements too. That fits into the 20
Yeah.
foot.
That's a terrifying sight. Mira, your web, it's a strength save or it's a dex save to avoid the web, right?
Dex to check. Yeah, Dex to avoid it, and then strength if he gets trapped.
7 to avoid, so he fails,
Oh.
I'm imagining.
No, it is.
What I'll do quickly, Owen, sorry.
Yep.
I'm also going to do a bonus action, because the bonus action... Wait, I just want to check something. Oh, yeah, okay. As a bonus action, I can move up my spiritual weapon. That's fine, I don't have anything.
No.
Sorry. Continue.
No, good. So it fails, so its movement speed is halved, I believe? Or is it restrained? No, it's restrained. Restrained, so it cannot move.
It's double restrained.
Yep.
Fantastic, yeah, as the grapple. The escape the grapple is at the end of its turn, I believe, as
Yeah.
well. Oh no, it just uses its action to escape.
Yeah, it uses its action to make a strength check, if you like.
Yeah, absolutely. And it actually has disadvantage on this dex save because it's already been grappled. So I will roll again for the dex save, just see if we get a natural 1, because that will mean something. 16, so 7 is the one we'll take. Given that it can't escape, it is going to start biting down against the snake, tying it up. Lyra does so it makes 3 attacks, 1 with its bite, 1 with its horns, 1 with its claws. Lyra, does a 21 hit you?
Yes.
The lion head bites down and begins tearing into your flesh, dealing 10 damage. Next up, the claws are actually going to go for Grisha because she's pissing it off as well. Oh, it's a 19 to hit Grisha. Grisha takes 13 damage as the claws rake across her chest. She cries out in alarm. And the horns are going to go for you as well, Lyra. Oh no, 16? I'm guessing that hits the constrictor snake.
that hits.
12 bludgeoning damage.
Yow.
Yow, indeed. Grisha, having taken a fair bit of damage, is still going to make another swing. She's going to make a reckless attack. That hits.
Barbarian.
She deals 11 damage as she swipes at it with the axe, crying out, "This thing is a little more powerful than I thought!" She calls out to you. Mira.
Yeah.
Time for some sorcery, baby.
Yeah, sort of, but I still want to see everything on fire.
No? What? What do you mean?
I really don't. Okay, so let's web. It'll burn it away. Question. If I cast Fireball, can I cast it in
Yes.
the air like a firework?
Yes, of course you can. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course you can.
Okay.
Of course you can.
But they're both on the ground now, right?
They are.
Yeah. That's annoying.
How tall are they, though?
Hey, yeah, how tall are they? Are they huge creatures?
It's a good question. They are large creatures, so they're between 10 to 20 feet tall.
Oh, it pounds to the ground. That pounds to the ground. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just reading carefully.
You could cast it in the air.
I could. I was actually thinking of it.
Do you have careful spell as well?
No.
Okay. Never mind then.
No. Okay. I will. There's really not much I can do. It's really just actually, you know what? I am getting that thing's on the ground. Don't get that close to it though. Oh no, I'll cast web again, but on this other one here that hasn't been grabbed.
Okay. Is web concentration?
Is web concentration? Probably is.
Oh, sorry. I'll tell you now. It is concentration.
Cool. Okay. Then I won't do that.
You sure? Because this one's already grappled by Lyra.
That's true, actually. I will. Yeah, you're right. I will do that. Actually, I will. Here we go. I am going to use my sorcery points to bonus action firebolt on the webbing.
Yes.
And
it's
then
flammable, even though yours is ice.
Yes. Well, no. See, she does use fire for this. Like, use a bit of fire and ice. Bam.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
maybe a firebolt.
So according to web, it does any creature that's in that
2d4 fire damage that starts its turn in fire. Yeah.
Yep. In that space, so that just that 5 foot at the back there, will catch on fire.
Absolutely.
And that
I
isn't
will quickly add. I'll add a symbol to remind myself to do fire damage when we get there, and then you cast a new web on this one.
Yep.
Fantastic. Would you like it? Is that okay there?
So
just off towards the side of the ship.
Perfect.
Nice.
Exactly where I would have put
Fantastic. Beautiful. Anything else in your turn, Mira? Still got movement?
Yeah, so I'll just do the damage for the web.
Yeah, absolutely. The damage for the web?
Yeah, so if it's...
The firebolt damage to the fire damage. Yeah, go for it. Yeah, roll it now.
So I'll do 2d4 fire damage. But when it starts its turn, it
because I have realised a problem.
Yes.
So when you cast the firebolt here...
Yep.
I'm going to allow it. I know it says it starts its turn in the fire, but then the fire disappears because the web disappears because you cast a new web here, but I'm going to allow it. Roll me the damage. I'm going to allow it.
It's only 5 points of damage.
I'm allowing it. I'm allowing it because it's really cool. Basically, the fire, it's a flash fire. It burns away this web in an instant, allowing you to cast this other web right here immediately. With one hand, you throw out the fire. With the other, you weave this intricate network of ice crystals, forming that lattice again and trapping the Chimera. Any movement, Mira? Or are you pretty happy where you are? I'm
going to keep moving backwards up the stairs.
Really? Oh, why would you want to do that?
I don't know. I'm level 9 and I have level 8 and I have only 58 hit points.
Weird. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Corvin, who is below deck and none of you can see, does some things below deck. Lockie.
Alright, I'm going to climb out the window.
I would love an athletics or acrobatics check. I'm going to say them as athletics. I want either one of them. You may pick.
Sorry, I should have checked this, but I can do this weird thing where Sorry, I really should have checked this before.
Unless you have a climbing speed.
No, I don't. I just want to check one thing because it's going to change what happened. Well, change my roll because I'm pretty sure I can add my intelligence modifier to strength checks.
Yes, you can.
Yes, but does that count for this because it's a strength-based skill?
What does it say specifically? Let me have a quick look. Which is this?
It's a plus thing, obviously.
Features and traits, I'm guessing. So, spellcasting infused item, artificial infusion. What does this fall under? Is it one of the artificer things or one of the...
Yeah, it is. It's an artificer thing.
It's an armor thing.
Yeah, it's an armor thing.
I'm just trying to see it here.
Yeah.
Just having a quick look.
Isn't it just that you ignore the strength requirement of any armor?
No, something else.
Oh.
Let's just pull open Armourer and have a quick look. Artificer, Armourer. I just don't want to have don't spend too much time. looking up
It's just my attacks. It's just my attacks.
Just your attack. Okay, cool. Yeah, because I couldn't see anything else about skill checks, so unfortunately.
Alright, so I will do. I'll do athletics.
Don't roll a 1.
I'll
Please.
definitely try not to.
Roll a 1.
I should say before natural 20.
Oh,
Lockie, nice 21. You in your sort of as you don your armor, your magical armor that you've created, it's sort of like an Iron Man mode. You just start climbing the side of the ship. You definitely move yourself onto the outside, finding handholds in the copper and bronze metalwork. You can climb 15 feet up the side of this thing using your movement.
Okay. Alright. So
And then that's more than enough to do your teleport.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, I'll get say go probably about 5-8 feet or so, and get close enough that I can teleport. I'd land on top of the deck. So
Fantastic.
get himself
Boom.
out like all the cogs. Then we'll kind of like stack themselves up on the deck.
Yeah.
And there he is.
Very similar to the Iron Giant reassembling yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that would have been an action.
Or whatever the Mark IV armor is from Iron Man, where he's like, it just like he puts his hand and it like assembles itself on him as it flies over.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys see as Lockie just assembles himself on the deck as his parts fly up and begin assembling, and Lockie then stands before you.
And then I will bonus action do the what's it to get me my extra health. So the cogs will spin up, and a little electromagnetic aura goes around it and get extra.
So yeah, action to do your teleportation.
Action teleportation, and then bonus action for that.
Perfectamundo. That is your full turn. Chimera. I will quickly roll a dex check to see if it can escape the web. Chimera. 11. I don't think that passes, does it, Claire?
nope.
It is restrained, which means it's only got one target, really, unless it decides to be a dick. Let's have a look. How dickish is it feeling? No, it's gonna go for it. It's gonna do the bite on this snake. It's gonna absolutely wreck this snake, I think. Yeah, that's what it's gonna do. The Chimera turns around. I hope you've got the stats for your snake open, Lyra. This is going to be... I think this might be the end of your snake.
Oh, give me 1 second to open it up and get a calculator.
All right. I'll tell you right now. Actually, I've got it open as well. Armor class is 12, isn't it?
Yes,
So
60 hit points.
The claws miss. The first attack is a 21. That hits. It does 7 piercing. The second attack is an 18, and it does 14 bludgeoning. The third attack misses. So your
7
snake
and
is still up.
14.
Yeah, not as bad. Only 21. Not that bad at all. I thought that would be a lot worse. As it sort of desperately tries to escape this webbing and get away from this giant dragon image in front of it.
Right, one last thing. In the just for transparency, I do owe you 2 concentration checks for the previous attacks that
yes,
Lyra
you
took.
do.
Because this is
I
the
forgot
concentration
summon.
spell.
Yeah, I forgot it was a concentration. Please roll me that because it might change what it does.
It is,
Thank you for
however,
being
an
honest.
advantage because I am a warcaster.
It is. Because you're a Warcaster, legend. Which means you'll probably
Okay.
be okay.
First one,
So the first damage you took was
Yeah,
10,
good.
so you're fine. And the second damage you took was 13. Oh no, sorry, 12. The second damage you took was 12. So you're fine. Yeah, you're absolutely fine. 16 and 21, you pass both concentration checks. Very good.
Nice.
You may have an inspiration for being honest about your concentration check.
thank you.
That's all the Chimera can do. Leosin is going to perform a airship ability. Problem is that if he does, it's going to move you out of range of the dragon image. No, he's going to take a shot with his crossbow. No, just seeing this image of the dragon you've created, knowing that if he accelerates the ship forwards, it's going to leave this dragon image behind, floating in midair. He is going to take a crossbow shot at the Chimera instead, knowing that that is the consequence. Shit, that misses. Okay, yeah. Leosin's crossbow bolt flies over the deck of the ship and embeds itself in the wood. He goes, it's new. That's mahogany. Ah, shit. It's not mahogany. He doesn't say that. He goes, oh, shit.
Mahogany!
Lyra, we are back up to the top.
Alright, so both Lyra and Snaky are going to be taking constrict attacks against their relative targets.
Your
Both
Snaky
of
has
them-
advantage on the...
Yeah, they both should have advantage because they're both restrained, yeah?
Yeah, they are restrained.
So this is Lyra's first.
Oh, no, sorry, no. The first one's... Oh, no, yeah, no, sorry, you're right. Yeah, they're both restrained. Yeah, absolutely. Advantage, yeah. So 23 hits.
Yep. So the
12 bludgeoning
damage for Lyra is... this one?
I think it's just the same, isn't it? It's 12 bludgeoning damage. And then your Snaky.
Oh, did the damage roll through?
It did, yep, I've got it. So 15 and 23
sweet.
with the rolls. We take the
didn't do that
advantage,
last
which is the
time.
23. 12 bludgeoning damage.
Nice.
Alright, let's get that snake now.
Yep. Boop. Yeah.
Oh yeah, 22 is going to hit 15 bludgeoning damage. Yeah, these snakes are locked down. As you are basically maintaining this grapple on the Chimera, they are roaring, thrashing about, trying to get free. But unable to do so with your long, sinuous body, trapping their wings and preventing them from flying. They are unable to escape.
Yeah. She's got coils going around the necks, around the wings, they are just tied up like a turkey.
They're not going anywhere. Jin, it is your turn.
Okay, I'm going to use my action to move this big boy here.
Yep.
To here, so he's actually on the ship now.
Yep.
So I use my action to do that, and I can make the movement look like almost natural.
Yeah,
It's going to sort of
absolutely.
Yeah, the claws will dig into the ship to make it look like he's sort of like hanging off it a little bit.
Absolutely.
And I can actually cause the illusion to make different sounds at different times, even make it carry on a conversation, for example. So I can actually have it speak.
Absolutely, yeah, it can make sense. Absolutely.
It's going to make sense for a dragon to speak in Draconic, so I don't know if it's going to affect them or not, but it's going to sound really crazy anyway for them to hear this dragon speak in Draconic.
Yeah,
it's basically just going to sort of growl and sort of roar in Draconic, leave this ship now, or suffer the consequences that I shall impose upon you all.
Absolutely. Very good.
Obviously,
would you like to make me an intimidation check?
Alright. Wow, I rolled a 2. That's plus 7.
9.
Dang.
Yeah. Yep. This dragon's roaring, but at the moment, tied up with snakes, the Chimera don't seem to react too much to the dragon roaring. Perhaps because they are restrained by snakes, but not much else seems to happen.
What I'm going to do as well is I'm going to have this sword go up here and here,
Absolutely.
and it will just while this is being engulfed by this snake, I'm just going to do an attack with the.
You have advantage
weapon.
because it is restrained.
Perfect. So I think I just roll this.
14
14 hits.
13? 14 hits, yeah.
Okay, so then 9 force damage.
9 damage, yeah, absolutely. As you deal 9 force damage, striking at the creature. Absolutely. Fantastic. Anything else on your turn, Jin?
Well, that's my bonus action and main action done, so no, I'll just sort of just move over here, 5, 10,
Yeah.
15, 20, 25, and just maybe about there. I think I'll just stay here for now.
Nice. Chimera here is going to, seeing the dragon arrive and start setting stuff off. Now they can understand Draconic.
Oh, so they actually heard that.
Yeah, they can understand Draconic. I'm going to quickly roll. Alright, it's going to make to escape the grapple, it's a strength check, isn't it? DC 16 strength check. Let's have a roll. Oh, it's a natural 20 for a total of 24.
Dang.
The Chimera bursts free, pushing away from you, Lyra. Seeing this dragon land on the deck of the ship and warn it's going to kill it, it is going to attempt to fly off. You and Grisha both have attacks of opportunity if you would like to take them.
Ooh, absolutely. I can't do another constrict attack as an opportunity, can I?
Wouldn't.
No, it's a bite attack.
I would advise against it anyway. I think it's going to fly away. in potential horror and terror.
That doesn't hit.
That doesn't hit, and Grisha misses as well. Got a natural one for Grisha. She just smacks her axe into the wood of the ship and goes, fuck! That Chimera flapping up into the air, 5, 10, 15, 20, and then just drops 30 feet down below the ship, heading towards relative safety as it disappears from view. Alrighty, that is that one out. Grisha is going to try and pull her axe free, which she does. Seeing this giant dragon and hearing you, she's going to move 5, 10, 15, 20 away from the action and try and quickly tear some cloth and bandage up her slash marks across her chest. Mira, it is your turn.
Alrighty, I am just going to double barrel firebolt, 1 for each.
Yeah.
So that'll be a choke against both.
Mm-hmm.
So 1, 2.
11 misses, but the 16 hits. Oh, sorry, no, you've got advantage.
I
Or is it just melee attacks? Let me double check if it's restrained. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage.
Yeah.
So you actually have advantage on this. So the first one is a 16, that hits. Do you want to roll for the second firebolt? 21 and 22. So both firebolts are going to hit. Roll me some damage.
So roll. So 2d10 for the first one.
Mhm.
Not the roll.
Oh, very nice.
Oh, plus 5 because this is fire. And
It is.
the elemental affinity. Roll 2d10. Oh, that's better. 17 for the second one.
Very nice.
Let me just double check that.
As these two firebolts smash into it and set the webbing on fire, would you like to roll me 2d4 as well?
Oh yes, yes. So it's just the plus 5 on the first attack. Sorry.
Exactly. Yeah. That's a good. I didn't do it on the second.
Yeah, good. 2d4 for the 7 for the one.
7 damage. Very nice. As it starts burning, the web burns and begins burning this creature. Anything else on your turn, Mira?
I'm far enough away.
Nice.
Can I just check we're not in any storms or any other obstacles? We're just kind of
Yes.
floating there, aren't we?
Make me a perception check. The ship is moving forward, but very slowly.
Yeah, good. That's fine. That's a 15.
15, yeah. You're not heading for any fog banks or any storm clouds. You seem safe for the moment. Corvin runs up and throws a dagger at the Chimera,
Yeah.
which hits
Go
and deals a little bit of damage.
I've been sitting on it. Yeah.
I am a glorious warrior. As he flings this dagger. Lockie, you're up next.
Alright. I'm just gonna power up my gloves,
Mm-hmm.
charge in,
There he is.
saying, I am loving these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane.
Nice. Very nice. Very nice, yeah.
And I'll take my 2 attacks on the Chimera.
'24 is going to hit. 11's not. So the 20. Oh, it's got advantage. Sorry. So it is still grappled. So the 24 hits for the first attack.
Good about that.
It's all right. I remembered. And 17 hits for the second.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
So I'll take those 2 damages that you roll because that makes life really easy. So 5 and a 6 for 11 thunder damage total. Very nice. This creature is looking very hurt as you begin punching into it, smacking down this damage. That's your action. Bonus action, Lockie?
Bonus action, I don't have terribly much, so I'm just going to stare him down and be like, you want to take a bite of this, don't you? Come on. I'm
Nice.
very tasty.
Alrighty, the Chimera is going to... I'll make a roll to see if it's intimidated by the dragon and its mate disappearing. Yes, it would very much like to flee, but there is a lot of stuff in front of it. And it is currently wrapped up by a snake as well, isn't it? No, the snake... It's not wrapped up by the snake, it's just the web. So at the beginning of its turn, I'll make a dex save.
Oh no, so it's a strength save to get out of it.
Strength save.
Yeah.
It should also be wrapped up by the snake because both attacks hit last time.
Oh, I did too. Alright, so I've rolled strength check to escape. I got 21 to escape the grapple. And then this is the first time it's been in the web because this is the first time it's had its turn in the web. So that's when it makes a dex save, correct, Mira?
Yep.
Alright, so...
Yeah.
Or is it strength
so
or
17. Dex for the first... Yeah,
So it's
strength to escape the webbing. Oh, sorry,
Yep.
you go, Mira.
Sorry, I was just going to say, just reading it. It's already failed its dex on its first turn.
So it's just a strength.
So
Yeah.
it's just, yeah.
Yeah. So I will roll a strength check. It has escaped the snake grapple as it pushes the snake off. I will roll. That's another 21. I got 2 21s for strength in a row as it shakes off the grapple. It is going to attempt to flee as well. That is an attack of opportunity for Lockie and the snake. Unfortunately, spiritual weapons don't get attacks of opportunity.
That's fine. I don't mind. It's like the whole entity thing with the
Yeah.
with the Echo Knight image.
12 is not quite enough. Sorry, Lyra.
No.
And Lockie, do you want to make me a punch? One punch, Lockie.
Actually, I in leveling up, I also may have taken Warcaster. So I'm just choosing a spell with which to smack him.
Very nice. Yeah, you can use a spell as a reaction.
Yeah.
Cantrip.
Cantrip. Yeah. Sorry. Should have said.
Okay.
Just in case you're thinking of doing some like third level stuff.
Yeah, I do.
Actually, looking at magic missile at 3rd level, so yes.
I do inflict wounds. Inflict wounds is a reaction. 3rd level.
I'll do a. Actually, you know what? I'll do a green. Okay. So instead of electricity, which still sort of fizzles out, one of these gauntlets lights up with. There's a little canister inside, and it smashes and then lights this with flame as it hits it. I'm going to go green flame blade on this bitch.
Green flame blade.
Yeah.
Green flame blade.
Green flame blade.
Absolutely. Green flame blade. Let's see it.
Oh, okay. So I've got to do the ones. Which will still be on the
Roll me those dice, baby.
Still be on the Thunder Gauntlet.
25 is going to hit.
Oh. So that is then the 1d8 plus 4 thunder damage.
Yep.
Plus
10 thunder damage.
plus another d8 for
Green flame blade.
yes indeed.
I think you're going to roll a 6. I'm calling it now. I think you're going to roll a 6.
Blackjack.
Come on.
Let's see. Come on, be a 6. 8. Oh my god.
That's
Amazing. This thing is so hurt. As it flies off, you can see one wing has been burned. There are cuts and slashes. It is limping as it flies. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and then does the exact same thing. It just folds its wings and drops rapidly out of view. As these chimera drop as fast as they can away from the ship, Leosin sort of calls out and goes, "Are we chasing, or are we all good for the moment? Do we just leave them?"
I think we just onwards. I think we just go as fast as we can, and I'll
Yes.
sort of run off to the side of the ship here. I'm gonna have the illusion sort of appear as if it's on the side of the ship, and sort of like just roaring at the top of its lungs, speaking in Draconic
Very
to stay
nice.
away, and just spouting like green,
Yeah.
acidy sort of breath.
Yeah,
Just to
amazing.
make sure that nothing else even attempts to attack us.
That's fantastic. Great use of Draconic as well. The fact that they actually understand Draconic really helped with that. Even though your roll wasn't so good, I had lowered the DC for that. That was awesome.
See, I didn't know.
Well, with
I didn't know
that-
they actually understood Draconic.
No, it worked out really well. Well, with that, we will end tonight's session on a bit of a combat, and we will come back and see the aftermath of that next time. So thank you so much for joining us, everybody. It's so lovely to have you here. We will see you all again next time. Stay safe, stay well. We'll see you later.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye!
Farewell, everybody. Goodbye.